Rich's Arcane Mage, but what I am happy to see is Chun-Li on the Windwalker Monk. This is what we've wanted from the Gosu crew. This has seen them so much success, and for the first time we're actually going to see a Frost Death Knight playing into Rogue Mage. Of course, Method Orange did play the Frost Death Knight earlier. We didn't get to see it play out against Rogue Mage though, so this has been the big talking point backstage. Can Frost Death Knights disrupt mages enough with the Heartstop Aura, with the Delirium? Let's find out.
Yeah, they are going to be opening up onto Gorecki early on. Kidney shot into a Hammer of Justice. Anti-magic zone from Smexen will shut that down, and now it's time for Smexen and Chun-Li to get aggressive. Jamilian with a beautifully timed temporal shield will be able to bounce his health back to full, and Gorecki's actually going to be crossing the entire map. He wants to create as much distance as possible. It's likely he's going to be the main focus, so really just trying to abuse the fact that Smexen on that Frost Death Knight has really good snares with that Chains of Ice, and that's going to limit the uptime that we really see Jamilian Roasties have.
Yeah, certainly it's partly the Frost Death Knight, and you can see Smexen's been doing such a good job, you know, there, Death gripping Roasties away from his kill target once again as he gets Blessing and Protection, so really nice play from Smexen. But one of the other big things to note, and I was talking to Absturge backstage, he's here cheering on, you know, Jelly and Pika on the desk today. He was saying that Shaman's actually the biggest buff they got between the season and the finals is the fact that all the Azerite is 450 item level now, right? And that means Pack Spirit is incredibly powerful. Gorecki sitting in that Ghost Wolf form, healing himself up a lot, and even throughout these stuns, his health barely moving. He's dropping low, does have access to the Spirit Link if needed, but sitting in that Ghost Wolf form, look, his health's actually bouncing up with the peels from Smexen. So this synergy is what we've been talking about as a potential answer to the Rogue Mage.
Now when you see a Druid in bear form or a Guardian Druid in bear form, that's about what a Resto Shaman turns into when he's in that Ghost Wolf form and the Ghost Raptor you see Gorecki showcasing. Now into a full polymorph. M2KC, they're going to be changing their target, going after Chun-Li with a pre-fortifying brew. It looks like Chun-Li's going to be completely fine, and there is big damage here for the Gosu crew. Rubcub trying to respond with the Avenging Crusader. He's getting aggressive. Big swap here onto Gorecki. Can he survive? He's not in the Ghost Wolf. Kitty shot into Cheap Shot. Astral Shift not available. Gorecki getting low. Kleptomania Spellsteal. Dragon's Breath. Gorecki forced to Trinket and Spirit Link. That is a big victory for M2KC.
Yeah, and what a great play from M2KC. They were tunneling Gorecki, but he just sat in the Ghost Raptor, right? And then they were like, okay, we're going to sheep him up, confuse him a little bit, throw a curveball, attack Chun-Li, but they were always after Gorecki. They caught him out there, forced the Trinket, the Spirit Link, the Safeguard, so many defensive cooldowns traded out. Now M2KC certainly in the lead, but Roasties taking a fair bit of damage. Frost Death Knights, when they pop their Pillar of Frost, they do incredible cleave. So if they can stack up Jamili and Roasties, then Rubcub's going to have a tough time recovering. You can see he's already dropping a bit low. His mana, actually incredibly for Rubcub, is about 50%. Normally Rubcub on Paladin, he's one of the last people to run out of mana, but in this game, he has been having to put out a lot of healing. Chun-Li and Smexen showing why they have been so good this year on the Windwalker Death Knight. Now they just need to keep their Shaman alive so they can win with that mana condition.
Yeah, Blessing of Freedom, but unfortunately Chains of Ice lands, and now I don't know how Roasties is going to reconnect to Gorecki. He is positioning beautifully. Chun-Li was able to deny with the Ring of Peace, and then Smexen with the Death Grip, Chains of Ice. Roasties has not been on a target for the last 45 seconds of this game. Finally, with a re-stealth and a sprint, able to get back on target. Gorecki with a beautiful preemptive Astral Shift on that Kidney Shot, and with that, he should be completely fine in this situation. Hammer of Justice to follow it up, but unfortunately, Jamili was not there to get off any damage. He's being denied by Smexen, and that's the frustrating thing. With the Heartstop Aura, with the Delirium, Jamili just doesn't have the mobility to actually stay on target. So as long as Gorecki can run away from Jamili, he can ultimately survive. Big setup here on Roasties. Forced to trade out the evasion and the Cloak of Shadows. Big win there for the Gosu crew.
Yeah, we see a big push over onto Chun-Li here. They're actually committing the combustion to this, so Smexen immediately anti-magic zone. Smexen has been on point with these anti-magic zones. Really good game from him so far, both in terms of healing for his Shaman, but also just recognizing when cooldowns are being traded out. I think he's had a really good one here on the Grand Arena. This is Elimination Series, and bear in mind, Gosu crew have locked themselves into BlizzCon, but if M2KC lose this series, they are not going to BlizzCon. This is their chance. It's all on them. We can see Chun-Li once again dropping a little bit low, as Gorecki did have to use his Trinket. I think he actually used his Racial there in the exchange, so the Polymorph, if it had landed, would have been huge. Instead, they do force out the Touch of Karma, though, so we can see Gorecki doesn't have Trinket available. Chun-Li, no Touch of Karma, and that could be an opening for M2KC. But at the same time, Rubcub's mana's dropping low. This game still could go either way.
It definitely could. In terms of mana, the Gosu crew, they do have a big lead. Jamili with a nice block. He's going to be feeling relatively safe, but a double leg sweep coming in. Jamili trinkets out. out, gets the double Dragon's Breath. That'll slow down Smexin and Chun-Li enough, potentially for Jamili to hold on. Ultimate Sacrifice trade. It's actually not the Ultimate Sacrifice, so Jamili's still taking some decent damage here. RubCub bouncing his health back up. Hammer Justice on a Gorecki. Chun-Li still in a prime position to survive. He's got his Trinket, he's got the Fortifying Brew, but can't make any mistakes. He does not have the Touch of Karma, which is his ultimate safety net. Roasty's chasing him down. It looks like M2KC, they're going for a strategy change. Going after Gorecki was not working. They've had a lot more pressure now that they're focusing more on Chun-Li.
Yeah, certainly, but this is Chun-Li. This is who we wanted to see. Any other Windwalker Monk, I would be terrified for against the likes of such a strong Rogue Mage Paladin. Chun-Li, you always get this feeling he's not dead until he's dead, and he's certainly not dead just yet. He's got the Trinket available, Touch of Death rolling, trying to get damage onto Jamili. Jamili did a good job using the Temporal Shield to mitigate a lot of that incoming burst, but RubCub has been having such a tough time. Doesn't have the Avenging Crusader for 20 seconds. He's got to keep Jamili stable here. No Ultimate Sacrifice, even talented. Now we see the Dragon's Breath coming in, trying to kind of mitigate that grip onto RubCub. Maybe we saw Smexin there potentially looking to set up a stun or a Blinding Sheet for crowd control on RubCub. Jamili dropping low. I mean, RubCub, he's playing the Avenging Crusader. It costs 10,000 mana. Soon he won't be able to use that anymore, and as Dampening starts to stack up, if Chun-Li can keep himself in the fight, I think the Gosu crew can actually win this.
I think that's absolutely true. It's looking good for them. RubCub's mana is getting lower and lower. Jamili could be forced into his first Ice Block. Dragon's Breath comes in, looking to deny Smexin, deny Chun-Li. Grapple weapon, unfortunately, it's actually on RubCub. That's going to be denying some of his healing. Nicely done. Jamili gets interrupted. Cauterized procs. Do they have the healing they need? Is it going to be an Ice Block? And it is. Chun-Li there all over him with that Windwalker mobility. Now into a kidney shot. Jamili looking to get aggressive. Drops out of the Ice Block. Combustion pop. Chun-Li could be in a lot of danger. The anti-magic zone from Smexin might be enough to keep him alive, but it is still danger time for Chun-Li. Might be his Touch of Karma, but it looks like he's going to be able to hold on. We are 12% dampening, and it's going to be a struggle for Gorecki to actually top him off.
Yeah, it's tough for both healers at this point. 12% dampening, both teams low on defensive cooldowns. Chun-Li, though, crucially, does have access to that Touch of Karma. If he can avoid the Blessing of Protection from RubCub, then that could be a way of staying in the fight. Meanwhile, Jamili, no Ice Block. You can see the Heartstop Aura playing out. 6-minute cooldown on the Ice Block, something you're not going to see every day, as M2KC are being slowed down by this Frost Death Knight of Smexin. They're being slowed down by Gosu crew. There is a big barricade between them and a BlizzCon spot this year. Ultimate Sacrifice from RubCub. Of course, it's only the small sacrifice. There's the Haymaker to knock him away. Also, Roasties once again going after Gorecki. Doesn't have a Trinket. Could be an opening. Blessing of Protection comes in. Chun-Li is no longer an opening. Blessing of Protection is not available for the Touch of Karma. They need to all in on Gorecki. This could be their last chance.
Definitely Gorecki in midfield. He's caught into a stun. Kleptomania Spellsteal. Big damage. This could be the last opportunity M2KC really has. Death Grip onto Roasties, denies him any damage, gets out the Cloak of Shadows, he's trying to reconnect. Gorecki really struggling to stabilize. Astral Shift making him very durable, but now Jamili in a position where he can't really get any damage rolling, and I think if Gorecki can just camp Ghost Roll for right now, he's ultimately going to be able to survive. However, if M2KC, they can push in, they can easily take down Gorecki.
Yeah, they could. This could be game. The only thing stopping them is Smexin. Jamili is not there to Klepto the safeguard, but it might not matter. So low health on Gorecki. Uses the Earthen Wall Totem, uses the Ascendance, his last lines of defense, but RubCub had to use Divine Shield. He has nothing left in the bank, and Gorecki's ready to invest in a victory here in game one. He's so close, using the Ghost Raptor once again to get away. Chun-Li needs to deny Roasties. If they can get grip on Roasties, Smexin could potentially save his healer here, but he's polymorphed in deep field. This could actually still be an M2KC victory. Kleptomania on the Wolf, and the Gosu crew are in so much trouble.
Gorecki getting lower, caught into a stun, there's nothing left. Anti-magic zone drops out for Smexin. Growth Silence. If they have any more damage, Gorecki will easily fall to Ghost Wolf, the last thing allowing him to survive. Still out of line of sight. He gets a big heal. It's the Battle Masters. Gorecki now, he needs to cross the map, and he needs help. They need to get Roasties off of him, but Roasties, does he have the Shadow Step? Is he going to be able to get back on target? No, unfortunately. Now Gorecki should be able to stabilize. Finally out of line of sight. Finally a moment to breathe, but what a close call.
It was so close, and the Battle Master's still going to fall here, and Smexin is still in polymorphs. I think he's going to die anyways. We see the DR stun. Earthen Wall Totem before. Beautiful play by Gorecki as he trades out his entire defensive arsenal. This This is so close. 30% dampening. Neither healer has anything remaining. M2KC playing for their tournament lives. The Gosu crew are playing for Method Orange at this point. Also, there's so many stakes here in North America. Lower bracket, elimination series. Gorecki, once again, he gets away, and Roasties is the one in trouble.
Yeah, Roasty, he can't afford to get too aggressive. He's getting low. Chun-Li soloing him. Smoke bomb drops out. Kidney shot over onto Chun-Li. He trinkets out aggressively and might be able to capitalize on that, but it's still Roasty on the back foot. Rubcub, he's got no mana. Is Gorecki going to finish him off? The Cloak of Shadows comes in. Chun-Li desperately flailing to get him down. Paralysis onto Rubcub, a full defensive blind coming in for Roasty. He's actually diminishing return. This is a nightmare situation for M2KC, and it looks like it's going to be Roasties that ultimately falls. Nice defensive play by the Gosu crew. Last game, essentially, Gorecki, he's running, he's hiding for his life, because if Jamili, Roasties, and Rubcub can have uptime, there's essentially nothing he can do. He's going to get trained down and he will ultimately die. So they really have to utilize the peels from Chun-Li, from Smexen, try to create as much space as possible and not allow Jamili to stay on target. If they can do that, that is the key to victory, and that's ultimately why M2KC, they decided to go with a small map. They want to just have that uptime, and this small map should allow them to do so.
Yeah, this is a very nice strategy from M2KC as well. Like, obviously, the Ghost Wolf is a very powerful defensive that Gorecki has. So Jamili is actually running the Kleptomania talent, meaning that every single time they go for a Hammer of Justice or a Kidney Shot, they're able to remove that Ghost Wolf. It's a magical effect and reduce any, damage reduction, healing coming in from Gorecki, and that's kind of what Jamili's playing for. But Gorecki's been doing such a good job when combined with Smexen. Between them, the Chains of Ice, the Death Grip, and just the line of sight from the pillars has enabled Gorecki so far to just kind of avoid those Kleptomanias as much as possible. You can see the entire team of M2KC right now pushing toward Gorecki. Haymaker knocking Roasties away. Nice plays from Gorecki, using his racial very, very nicely to make sure that he's, just delaying the next Kidney Shot, delaying the next Hammer of Justice setup. At the same time, Gorecki unable to dispel Polymorphs, because if he does, of course, he exposes himself outside of the Ghost Wolf.
Yeah, there's the Hammer of Justice, Kleptomania. Roasties finally on target, and he is met with a beautiful Ring of Peace by Chun-Li. However, Chun-Li now in Polymorphs won't be able to help out too much, but he might have done his job. Gorecki's still really struggling. The Maledict is really powerful against the Ghost Wolf. So Gorecki, if Maledict does ultimately land on him, that Ghost Wolf's not going to be healing for anything, and that's a window of opportunity for M2KC to sort of push through all that passive healing. Now Kidney Shot land once again, but it is the Ascendance to keep Gorecki alive, and now it is Jamili and Rubcub really struggling in the situation. The pressure from Gosu crew is immense. Jamili trying to survive with the Temporal Shield. Shimmers away, but Smexen's still all over him. This is going to be a disaster if we see a Cauterize or an Ice Block forced so early on in the game.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's definitely a tough situation for M2KC, because Jamili in particular, let's just talk about for a second the math on Heartstop Aura plus Delirium. Shimmer, which is a 20-second cooldown baseline, becomes roughly 56 to 58-second cooldown because of how much cooldown reduction gets put in by the Frost Death Knight. So you really slow down Jamili, and we know Jamili, he's someone who loves to play fast. He loves to get really kind of impulsive plays, big swaps. That's his play style, and Smex is just frustrating him to no end at this point. He's shutting him down so much on that Frost Death Knight, and I can only imagine what's going through Jamili's head whilst that's happening. He's got to be the guy that not only stays alive, he's got to find those opportunities to get the Klepto on Gorecki, get out that Fire Mage burst that we've seen him win countless tournaments with. If he can do it, his team will win the series, but it's a tough task.
And you don't really have any other options than to play Shimmer here, right? As a Fire Mage, the other options are Blast Wave and Blazing Soul, I think, which don't really seem that good.
Yeah, you want to play Shimmer in this matchup, even though it does limit you so much. If you can't use Cast and Blink at the same time, it's really, really difficult. Rubcub with a massive heal. Jamili and Roasties were so far behind, but the Avenging Wrath really doing work here. Now it's Smexen, who could be in a little bit of trouble. Big Death Strike does connect, and Smexen should be able to survive off the back of that. Full blind on Gorecki. He trinkets out, doesn't want to be messing around. I think that's a very fair trade, but now that he has no trinket, once again, he's vulnerable. And if M2KC, they can line up the Vendetta, which they have, with the Combustion, which they have, with a full Kidney Shot onto Gorecki into a Hammer of Justice, it could be lights out if they can set it up correctly.
Yeah, certainly that's what they're looking for. We see Jamili actually going for crowd control right now, Hammer of Justice. They're swapping up over onto Smexen. So last game, we saw them attack Chun-Li and Gorecki. This game, they have been posturing towards that. Frost Death Knights do I believe, have a little bit less healing than the Unholy specialization, but of course, if they're going to kill him, Jamili needs to land those Ring of Frosts.
Yeah, that was a disaster. He got the double Dragon's Breath onto Chun-Li. onto Gorecki. Really nicely done, but unfortunately the Ring of Frost missing on Gorecki. That's going to completely turn the tide of the favor, or of the game, into Gosu Crew's favor. Really now taking a little bit of damage. Combustion still available. They did pull out the Vendetta and they really didn't get too much. Smexen is going to be completely healthy, and now it's the Gosu Crew with all the pressure, all the momentum, really falling further and further behind. And RevCup doesn't have too many throughput cooldowns. There's no Avenging Crusader for another 15 seconds. He's going to really struggle to keep Jamili alive. However, M2KC, they've managed to get really good damage on Smexen.
Yeah, I mean, the Frost Knight does seem to be a potential weakness, especially playing with the Resto Shaman. Remember, the reason that Resto Shamans fell out of favor, certainly in this recent patches, is just because their throughput healing isn't of the likes of a Paladin or a Druid, right? So even Death Knights, they're going to struggle to kind of stay topped off. Shamans, their heals really do start to kick in the lower health their target is because of the way their mastery works. So Smexen at low health is more likely to stay alive than a Smexen at like 100% staying at 100%, but equally as dampening stacks up, Frost Death Knights, they don't have access to some of the talents that reduce, you know, the Death Strike cost, meaning that they're going to do less self-healing, and maybe Jamili and Roasties, they don't even need to push it on Gorecki that much. Maybe they can just kind of kite away, and eventually the healing won't be enough, and M2KC can win that way.
Ooh, nice polymorph there by Jamili. Sneaks one in onto Gorecki. Smexen is getting low, and he's got no Icebound Fortitude, now no Anti-Magic Shell, no Anti-Magic Zone. He is in a little trouble. Dampening is ramping up, and if M2KC can hold on and they can keep sneaking in these crowd controls onto Gorecki, it might ultimately be Smexen that falls, but we'll have to see. It's going to really rely on the crowd control from M2KC. So Jamili, as well as RevCup, they have to set that up. Here's the Ring of Frost. They find it. Smexen in a kidney shot, and this could easily just be the game. Gorecki, he has his trinket, but he's holding on to it. Smexen barely holding on. Polymorph coming in, and Gorecki, I can't believe he's not using his trinket.
I don't know. I think the Method Orange have got to do this one on their own because the Gosu Crew have been up against it. Obviously, they had a tough first series. Now M2KC are starting to find their footing in this one as well. And I mean, small map, large map, I think Jamili on this Fire Mage is a scary prospect. And if they can just tunnel Smexen, if the Frost Death Knight doesn't have enough self-healing, then M2KC could be able to wrap this one up.
Yeah, Jamili looking like a knight in shining armor with that transmog. We'll see what he can get done. In the last game, going after Gorecki was not the best strategy. I really like that they adapted mid-game, went after Smexen, kind of punished him for some of the aggressive anti-magic shells, these anti-magic zones very early on. And if M2KC can land the crowd control onto Gorecki, go after Smexen, all of a sudden, the Gosu Crew's defensive strategy is not so simple.
Yeah, certainly it's going to be tough because the Gosu Crew, they've now experienced all three strategies from M2KC. They've seen the Shaman dropping low, they've seen Chun-Li dropping low, and now they've seen Smexen actually die. So Smexen's the one I'm the most afraid of. Honestly, Chun-Li, whenever he's in the map, you think Windwalker's probably the kill target for an RM Paladin, but they just respect him so much as a Windwalker. This guy has been so good defensively. Ring of Frost coming in very defensively. A slightly odd one there from Jamili, maybe setting up something on Gorecki, but Gorecki actually walks into it at the same time as the Hammer of Justice, so overlapping a little bit of that crowd control. Nice little play there from him on the Resto Shaman. Irvin Shield Totem was also dropped preemptively. I think those sort of Ring of Frosts are kind of, I mean, back in the day we saw defensive Ring of Frost, but these days there's so many large cooldowns that you can use preemptively. Gorecki was just able to take the DR to the face and keep his team alive.
Yeah, he was feeling good about that. Ring of Frost, unfortunately not able to get too much done. Jamili now looking for defensive polymorphs onto Chun-Li, slow down the game. What is M2KC going to do? We'll have to see. Paralysis on RevCup. Double stun coming in from Chun-Li. They're getting aggressive. An ice block.
Nice.
That was a really early ice block there by Jamili. Now Avenging Wrath going to be popped by RevCup as he's looking to bounce his teammates' health back to full. That was a nice setup from the Gosu Crew, and they're able to get the one and maybe only ice block from Jamili of the game.
Yeah, and that wasn't even the touch of death either. That was a really, I mean, maybe it probably would have been the cauterize. It was certainly scary, but Jamili normally he holds on a little bit more. Now Smexen in a lot of trouble. IBF is available, Icebound Fortitude, but he's not using it.
He could have
He's
died.
not using it. He's used the AMS, but he's
just
so
died.
low. The Spirit Link's available. How on earth didn't he use more cooldowns there?
Well, Death Strike and Anti-Magic Shell, really powerful defensive. That was such a close call. M2KC, I'm sure they cannot believe what just happened. Gorecki going to top him off with the Ascendance, but there's still a combustion available. There's a smoke bomb from Roasties. What a close call. M2KC, they still have a lot in their kit in terms of offensive cooldowns where they can still sneak a kill onto Smexen. Triple blinding sheet coming in from Smexen, pausing out the game. Double egg sweep as well. Nicely done here by the Gosu crew. They're looking to get aggressive. Do they have the damage? Jamili shutting down the Fists of Fury with the Dragon's Breath. Now a full Ring of Frost lands. Nicely done by M2KC. Smexen into a Garrote silence, but these Death Strikes, he's able to keep himself nice and healthy. Gorecki has the healing. He's got Spearling Totem as well as Trinket. And right now, the Gosu crew, they're looking nice and healthy.
They certainly are. I feel like for the Gosu crew, this game has been it's been very up and down, right? Like they have the Ice Block Force from Jamili, that's a big plus, but Smexen just looks like such a liability on this Frost Death Knight every single time dropping low. Now he uses the Trinket on the Smoke Bomb, a nice trade, but once again, he's really struggling. And the Restoration Shaman, it's necessary to keep him alive. A Resto Druid would die much faster, I do believe, for the Gosu crew, but in terms of healing a Death Knight, it just seems really tough for the Shaman to keep him stable. Smexen constantly lingering on the edge, really having a tough time in this one. Earthen Shield Totem comes down, keeping him in the fight, but now it's expired, and Jamili is, I mean, he's just baiting him into the open. He's never been topped off. Next crowd control chain could easily be the game for M2KC.
I feel like Smexen, if he's going to be main target in this game, I don't know if I agree with the Gnome decision. I feel like you get a lot more value out of being Human Relentless, but as I say that, Jamili getting low. There it is, the Cauterized procs with the Blessing of Protection. Jamili trying to take advantage of that and going for a Sheep. Unfortunately, using a Shimmer, it's a complete waste. Gorecki avoids it, and now Jamili, he might be way overextended. That was a really aggressive play. I don't know if it's going to pay off. Touch of Death now rolling. Could still be in a little bit of trouble, but Rudcub is able to back him up for now. Temporal Shield still available, but opting not to use it. Dragon's Breath onto Chun-Li. He's going to be avoiding a lot of damage. Smexen now playing a little defensive. Going back to the pillar with Gorecki, realizing he was the main target in the last game, but if he could be on Jamili right now, they might be able to just close out the game.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, that might have been the play to define it all. A double shimmer, that's 2 minutes worth of shimmers, and now he's caught out so far away from Gorecki. He's never going to land crowd control again in this game, I almost feel like. Nonetheless, Smexen taking the brunt of the damage. Both sides have such incredible offense that Haymaker actually ended up backfiring a little bit as Jamili snuck a Sheep over onto Chun-Li in, Africa from Gorecki. He wasn't able to get the spell on that one. Now Jamili is still the target of choice. He has very little uptime. Chun-Li actually, uncharacteristic mistake, falls off the side there a little bit, losing a bit of his time, but it should be enough. Incaps the Polymorph, able to deny crowd control over onto Gorecki, who has done a good job in this game, but his mana is actually starting to feel the brunt of all this damage on Smexen. It's not easy for either side, but M2KC, I still think they have an edge in this one.
Yeah, M2KC, I mean, they've had good pressure. There's been a lot of moments on to Smexen in this match where they could take him down. However, Gosu crew also doing a really good job. Nice Ring of Peace there by Chun-Li, knocking Jamili off the edge, making it difficult for Rubcub to actually get in line of sight. He's in a prime position right now. That was actually a really nice Transcendence by Chun-Li, looking for a quick Spear Hand strike, but unfortunately, Rubcub was able to get the Divine Favor off. That Aura Mastery effect denies the Spear Hand strike. Smexen getting low. Full Ring of Frost onto Gorecki. He's got the Trinket, he's got the Spirit Link, but once again, he's going to play it greedy. He's going to hold on. Battle Masters from Smexen. Anti-Magic Shell should be enough, but once that Battle Master fades, Gorecki's going to have to play catch-up.
Yeah, he is. He uses the Ascendance and the Trinket to do it. Still has Spirit Link available, though. That was a lot of defensive cooldowns traded out by the Gosu crew there. We saw M2KC pushing in. They're looking for the kill once again. IBF is still available. Smexen is being so greedy with that large cooldown. It's a 3-minute cooldown. Reduces damage come, makes him immune to stuns. Spirit Link is available, but Gorecki's caught up in crowd control. Can Jamili get there? It doesn't look like he has a Shimmer available right now, though the Maledicts do come crushing in. You can see that on the little frame in the center of the screen. Smexen is in a lot of trouble. You can see everywhere, though. You can hear it in the arena as they're screaming for the kill. Gorecki gets caught up in a Dragon's Breath. Spirit Link is available. He does manage to connect it. A small gap enables the Gosu crew to survive.
Yeah, the Gosu crew, they're able to hold on, and now they have to get aggressive. However, Jamili, his Ice Block has rotated back up, but still it's Smexen on the back foot. And Smexen has just been playing so defensive in the game. He's always low in the match. I wonder if the Gosu crew anticipated this strategy from M2KC. I really feel like they were prepared for Gorecki being tunneled down. Maybe that's what most Rogue Mage Paladins do to them, but going after Smexen seems to be a curveball that I'm not sure they're prepared for. Triple blinding sheet coming in, triple leg sweep. Nice setup by the Gosu crew. Roasty's getting low. He trinkets out faint Cloak of Shadows. That should be enough to keep him alive, but now Jamili also getting taken down. Rubcub, this is such a nightmare situation for him. Jamili with the Ice Block able to keep himself alive. He's got the combustion. Are they going to make an offensive push? Smoke Bomb drops down. Roasty's also low. Could easily be a cross kill. Roasty's getting lower and lower. Rubcub trying to keep him alive. Smexen holds on and they're pushing in for the kill. Can Roasty survived. Can RubCub keep him up? Jamili caught into a full hex. There's going to be no peels incoming, but that Blessing of Freedom might be enough for him to survive, but no, Smexen with the death grip takes him down, and the Gosu crew claim that game.
That goes down to 1,500, bro. I've seen some stuff there. I've seen some stuff. We're gonna have to see how this Arcane Mage actually does play out. What does Jamili know that we don't know? He obviously knows something.
I hope he has Chrono Shift.
Yeah, let's have a look at the talents. We'll let Venruki have a little geyser at that, because obviously being the Arcane, one of the two Arcanes that we're very familiar with, him and Zika. I suddenly think if Zika was here, he wouldn't let Rich get away with some of this Arcane smack talk. Let's see if Jamili can hold up to it, though, because this is the biggest map in the pool. Arcane, of course, one of the greatest strengths is that it has so much mobility, even against the Frost Death Knight. If he can outrange the Delirium, then it can actually be dispelled by RubCub as well. It is a disease, so potentially that could actually mean that there's a lot of shimmers available for Jamili if he's not a kill target. I actually feel like this crowd control can still land. They can still have pressure on Smexen, but without Jamili just taking a truckload of damage the entire game.
Yeah, I don't mind the Arcane pick. It's what I would do if I was in M2KC's position, especially on this large map. Well, we'll have to see. The thing is, Jamili, if he is left alone, he will be able to generate a lot of damage, especially if he has mana to just channel out the Arcane Blast. As well, he is playing the Chrono Shift, so every time he uses an Arcane Barrage, not only does it put a physical snare up on whoever it hits, it also gives Jamili a temporary sprint effect, and that, with Blessing of Freedom, allows Jamili to start creating some distance in the game. Big damage now onto Smexen. These spell steals paying dividends here for the team of M2KC. Smexen really doesn't have too much heal over time effects right now. He's going to be implementing the anti-magic shell to try to survive, but so far, so good for the team of M2KC.
Yeah, you can certainly start to see the implications of this terrible Arcane pick here. No uptime for Smexen so far in the game, and a big part of that is the Arcane Mage, but also a big part of it is that he's combining it with a Holy Paladin, and the Freedom, again, isn't affected by Delirium because RubCub's able to play far away. He won't have that dot on him, meaning that he can get Hand of Freedoms on Jamili. Jamili has all those shimmers, the blink back, all of those different ways that he can use to get out of crowd control. I'm actually curious, is he playing? He is playing the shimmer, yeah, so he does have the shimmer, still could get caught up in stuns, but outside of that, he's going to be a very difficult target to catch, and Smexen, the pressure has been unrelenting, just the same as his fire. Yeah,
it has been looking good here for M2KC, and I feel like for Smexen and Chun-Li, they're going to have to start going after Roasties. I don't know if Jamili is going to be a super viable target. Of course, with the Delirium, with the Heart Stop, it is going to limit his mobility a little bit, but just having the constant sprint in the game really helps, and every time he gets Freedom, he's going to be out, basically able to hightail it out of there and keep himself alive. Still good damage, and like I said, those consistent spell steals to remove Smexen's buffs are going to be big. We'll have to see how many of them he can actually get out. Smexen's still low. Gorecki struggling to keep him alive. If we look at mana right now, M2KC has a lead in that regard as well. So things are really looking good here for this team.
Yeah, they certainly are, and because of that, I think Gosu crew have got the right play here. They're starting to put more damage onto Roasties and RubCub. Of course, it's not ideal. They'd rather get onto the Mage, but it looks so challenging here. Spirit Link's forced out. Mana's starting to fall behind. Smexen trades out yet another cooldown with that anti-magic cell, so quite a lot has been exposed. The blink count spell is denied. Very nice juke there by Gorecki. Well played, baiting that one out of Jamili and then landing the Hex. So a nice little outplay there from Gorecki against his former teammate, really trying to make a fool of Jamili as he does look to eliminate him. Bear in mind, if M2KC loses this game, they will not be going to BlizzCon.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a disaster for M2KC. Definitely their tournament life on the line, their BlizzCon dreams on the line. This is what they fought for the entire season, and I think this pick could be what ultimately gets them the win. However, because the Gosu crew won the first game, they're in such a prime position for game number 5 with the map and composition advantage. So M2KC, even if they can win this game, it's going to be an uphill battle. Smexen still rotting down a little bit low. Anti-Magic Zone and Anti-Magic Shell going to be rotating up here quite quickly, and I think as a result, Smexen should be able to keep himself alive. Gorecki caught into a Polymorph. Jamili's been able to get a lot of these Polymorphs off onto Gorecki, sniping them. Roasty's moving in, gets the sap into a Garrote Silence. Smexen still low. Good burst damage here for M2KC. Smexen still trying to get on target. The Battle Master going to come in and increase Smexen's health. and that should be enough for him to survive the stun.
Yeah, the Battle Master, of course, giving Smexin a huge inflated health pool. The reason that all the players have started running it, you can see it on the extension, you can see it in the center of the UI as well, down the bottom of our new frame. The reason they're running it is because there was a nerf to Safeguard. It's now a 3-minute cooldown as opposed to a 2-minute cooldown on the regeneration, so Battle Master just trades better. It's a bigger health advantage, and in the slower meta, it's very unlikely you'll die before getting your Battle Master off. So it means Smexin feels very confident in that. He used it to survive there, but this is a scary situation. Vendetta is up. Smexin is potentially down again, holding on to the Icebound Fortitude. I can't believe he didn't trade it out. Also, the anti-magic zone as well, sorry, was not used there. Really incredible, considering that was Vendetta. He was solo on health. Smexin has been really ballsy with some of these holds that we've seen from him in this series. Ultimately, he does survive, but mana heavily in favor of M2KC. This is their best map for the Arcane Mage, but it is looking really good, and it's looking like we could go to our first Game 5.
I think we will ultimately see it. Smexin still rotting down low. There is no anti-magic shell. Gladiator's Maledict lands from Rubcub. All three members pushing in. They're trying to take down Smexin. He's caught in midfield. What is Gorecki going to be able to do? He pops the Ascendance. Smexin, how are you alive? Icebound Fortitude, anti-magic zone, everything. Supernova being thrown out there by Jamili to try to interrupt the heal, but Gorecki, he does not have the throughput. Smexin, how are you alive right now? Spell steal after spell steal, removing all those heal overtime effects. Riptide not being able to do anything. Smexin finally gets out the anti-magic shell. They're trying to get the damage rolling on Jamili, but I just don't know how the Gosu crew is going to win this game.
Yeah, suddenly that Riptide buff's looking pretty good for Jamili's health bar right now, as every single one has ended up on the Arcane Mage. Smexin, I cannot believe he's still in this fight. Meanwhile, they're actually getting counter pressure on Roasties. Rubcub forced to use his sacrifice, but another full polymorph is snagged. Jamili is on fire in this game. He's really back, looking to cause an upset here for the Gosu crew. They need 2 victories, but they're close to 1. Kidney Shot comes in, Touch of Death. They need to respect this offensive push from Chun-Li. We talk about Jamili. Chun-Li will not be silenced here either. He has a lot of damage and a very capable player behind that keyboard. So we've got to see if he can make something happen here. Maybe a kill onto Roasties, who doesn't have his evasion right now. Smexin has actually recovered. They're at the cost of Gorecki's final mana. 11% dampening. Certainly still an uphill battle for the Gosu crew.
Yeah, touch of death play there by Chun-Li, but Jamili with that greater invisibility, able to reduce all of that incoming damage and basically not going to be taking anything. Smexin's still low, but that's been the story of the game. 12% dampening. Gorecki completely tapped on mana. M2KC in a dominating position right now. Arcane power is available for Jamili's, but he's caught in a stun. He's getting bursted down. He's got no ice block. This is actually really scary here for the team of M2KC. They don't want to throw away the game at this point. Once again, Chrono Shift with Blessing of Freedom allows Jamili to get some distance, and he is just spamming out the Arcane Blast. He can get a big barrage of missiles. Smexin could fall. Another polymorph onto Chun-Li. Big incoming damage. Hammer of Justice onto Gorecki, and I don't think Smexin's gonna get out just maybe. I mean, Battle Masters, that's a Spiritling Totem as well. Lots of defensive cooldowns rotating up there for the Gosu crew, but they're forced to trade out all of them.
Yeah, and it's still the Maledicts. The Battle Master's going to fall. I think he's still going to die here. Jamili is just chaining Arcane Blast. I mean, he doesn't have an ice block, but there's no one near him. Smexin falls, and we're going to Game 5.
And this is exactly why you want to play an Arcane Mage in a situation like this.
Grudge match, revenge match, or whatever you want to call it, Rich. This is going to be a good one. Gosu crew 2 tied with M2KC 2. This game, I mean, there's so much on the line. Like you kind of said, Rich, for M2KC, if they lose this, their BlizzCon dreams are completely gone. Their year is over. For the Gosu crew, they're in a prime position, but they definitely want to start making deep runs in these tournaments, as I personally feel like the results of these tournaments, like whoever wins this tournament could easily be our next BlizzCon champion.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this is the last tournament we'll see before BlizzCon for these teams, and it's not even that far away. It's crazy to think, actually. BlizzCon's basically just over a month out, so these guys really will have to go back to the drawing board, anyone that does struggle. I mean, if the Gosu crew goes out here, they have a BlizzCon spot, sure, but they're not going to be feeling confident at all going into that one. Smexin in the early stages of this game uses the Pillar of Frost, getting out a lot of damage with the empowered rune weapon, getting as much offense on his plate as possible, though quite honestly, Jamili did a good job of shrugging that one off, just able to kite away. He isn't the Arcane Mage, so you'll notice that there is a lot more uptime for both Chun-Li and Smexin in this game, but nonetheless, he's still going to be tanky. He's got the Blazing Barrier, he's got the strength of Rubcub backing him up. It's not going to be an easy Game 5 for either team.
Yeah, Smexen grips in Jamili, but I can't help but feel like it's a bit of a mistake, especially if he has the Blessing of Freedom up. However, finally, Smexen Chun-Li are going to be able to get some damage rolling onto Jamili. Grubcub bounces his health up quite quickly. Gorecki caught into a Ring of Frost. Smexen low. He's traded out the Icebound Fortitude. There's the Dragon's Breath. Smexen still getting lower and lower. And they close it out. M2KC, all-out aggression. This is what we know this team for. Goes. I feel like for Method Orange, this is not the worst matchup, but a Rogue Mage Druid played at the absolute highest caliber has looked bulletproof throughout the entire summer season, so we'll have to see what Method Orange can really get done. The main strategy for Method Orange is probably going to be really simple. Go after Fried Kitty, stop him from doing anything in the match, and eventually just winning with all-out pressure. For Team Prismatic, they need to get the crowd control onto Sea-Doo. I think early on, Trill's going to be that main pressure point for their team, but if the game goes on long enough, it can definitely take down Mez.
Yeah, already Team Prismatic off to a great start here with lots of triple CC, forcing out Sea-Doo's streak. Great blind by Acro there. Sea-Doo simply trading off that Earthen Totem. Trill taking a bit of damage, but kiting it out. He should be just fine here, restabilizing. Maudix actually flying in here too. Kind of a mistake there. I don't know. I'd actually rather save those for another offensive push, but good clone by Mempoike onto Trill here, keeping him low. Cheap shot onto Sea-Doo. Can it be followed up by Fried Kitty with the sheep? It is full sheep onto Sea-Doo. Acro disarm right now. Trill doing everything he can to live. Early touch of Karma on the kitty shot. Very well done by him. Mez does grip, double disorient them. Playing it safe, keeping his team alive, and waiting for the next push.
Yeah, I like that touch of karma, like you called out. Just early on, you trade it. You don't have to use your trinket. You don't have to panic. Sea-Doo doesn't have a his offensive or his defensive trinket. So as long as you can keep yourself nice and healthy, you don't give Team Prismatic any openings in the match. I think that's the strategy we really want to see Method Orange implement. For Mez, it's going to be about creating as much pressure as possible. But if Trill and Sea-Doo are playing too defensive and Mez is caught in the midfield, we saw what happened to Smexen. Mez could easily fall also. So Method Orange, they have to be careful. They can't completely rely on Mez to get pressure by himself.
Yeah, Prismatic a little hesitant to push in there. Great double leg sweep by Trill with the grip from Mez there. A lot of pressure going out on Prismatic right now. Great Iron Bard from Mempoike. Cloak and Feint used from Acro there actually. This is actually going pretty well. Mez using lots of offensive cooldowns here. Trill still does have that big touch of death available. We should be seeing a setup soon, but Acro, kidney shot, smoke bomb onto Trill. Lots of damage here. Does hold it in a beautiful cyclone from Mempoike. Can we see any sort of CC onto Sea-Doo right now? Maybe a reclone potentially. Nice reclone by Mempoike. We need to see some CC on Sea-Doo immediately. Otherwise, this is all for nothing.
Yeah, Fried Kitty just shooting frostbolts into the Cyclone. I'm pretty sure he shot like 7 frostbolts into the immune Cyclone there, so maybe a little bit of a misplay. We'll have to see. Mempoike's mana is not doing great. He's around 65% right now. Sea-Doo has been able to hold on, but it's been kind of the story between the Restoration Druid and the other healers, where for the Druid, it's all about drinking, and Mempoike did manage to get out of combat and recover his mana via drinking, whereas for Sea-Doo, that is not going to be the luxury he really gets in this matchup. Unless Fried Kitty, Mempoike, and Acro kind of make a mistake, I feel like he really shouldn't be able to get out of combat for long enough to recover his mana. However, the Restoration Shaman, he can hold on to that mana for a really long time and really bring it to the later stages of dampening.
Kind of worried about the strategy Prismatic is going with here. It seems like I'm seeing Acro kind of walk around the middle of the map a lot here without really any pressure going out. Method Orange doing the classic strategy. Method Orange is so good at Windwalker DK. They have multiple ways they can play. And whenever they want to play safe in a matchup, they all will just kind of sit back at the pillar and wait to see what the other team does, because that's where people make mistakes. They have so much experience playing these comps and these matchups that they know their limits. And I think at the rate this is going, I like Method Orange that they're able to swap up from getting pressure on people and also knowing when to pull back.
Yeah, I mean, Method Orange, like you said, they have just so much practice with this composition, and I mean, it's been a blessing for them. Sea-Doo's been able to play the Restoration Shaman, Trill on the Windwalker Monk, and Mez on that Death Knight. This really is their bread and butter. This is what they're most comfortable with right now. Trill getting aggressive. He's got the Alpha Tiger talent. Big damage with this Fist of Fury onto Fried Kitty, but he's able to disrupt it with the Ice Barrier. Mempoike in a prime position to keep him alive, but look at Mempoike's mana once again below Sea-Doo. He's already recovered his mana once, and this is a trend we're going to consistently see in the match. And if Mempoike falls too far behind, look at this damage! What is going on? That was Fried Kitty's ice block. Mempoike so much easily fall. It's not stopping this breath from Mez. He is all over him. A defensive blind coming in from Acro finally shuts it down, but Trill, he's trying to close out this game. He's marching towards Minpoike. What an insane setup from Method Orange.
Wow, that was ridiculous. Very well done by Fried Kitty, sheeping Sidu to stop those purges on Minpoike. Almost got the Cyclone there, gripped him from Mez. I'm not sure if they want to keep chasing Minpoike. That was so much damage so quickly there. It was a beautiful triple leg sweep by Trill, setting that up with Mez as well. And Method Orange is completely dominating this game there with all those buttons. Really set back Prismatic here, forcing that ice block. And there's not going to be another one for 7 minutes there from Fried Kitty. So Cold Snap is a very, very valuable cooldown for mages, and especially in this matchup right now, Maldics are flying in, lots of damage going on to Fried Kitty. Any potential CC on Minpoike, I'm not sure. Both targets are starting to rot now. Acro is taking lots of damage as well. Trill still has that touch of death available. Pillar crosses off from Mez, lots of damage. Grip into Minpoike, but he does get away without some beautiful in-cap from Trill on that kidney shot now. Turning the pressure back around Prismatic here, looking to get some CC rolling on Sidu in order to turn the tides here.
Yep, and Trill playing it patiently. He got the Temporal Shield, they got the Iron Bark, and this is where we want to see a touch of death play. If you use it into Iron Bark, use it into Temporal Shield, it's essentially a waste. So I think Trill, at any moment, he's going to be using the Fortifying Brew and the Touch of Death. If they want to get aggressive, he might want to just hold it defensively, but we'll have to see what exactly goes down. Minpoike getting gripped in, double Blinding Sheet. Now Trill there gets the double leg sweep. Nice setup once again, but Acro shuts it down with a kidney shot over onto Trill. Really nicely done. Minpoike trying to hightail it out of there, but Fried Kitty still just taking so much damage, hovering around 50% health. Minpoike's going to have to use a lot of mana to keep him alive. He's got the Iron Bark, but he's holding on to it. Full Cyclone onto Sidu. Good crowd control here by Minpoike. 5% dampening, but Trill, with the Touch of Karma, with the defensive play, should ultimately be able to survive.
Yeah, I really want to see Prismatic really start to pick a target here. They seem like they really just don't know who they want to kill, and this is just Method Orange's dream. It just gives them more uptime, more time to kill them, and it's just, as time goes on, it's going to be harder and harder the further they fall behind. Lots of damage right here. Kidney shot, Smoke Bomb onto Trill here. Beautiful clones coming up from Minpoike. Triple CC, 3v1 situation. Trill uses that Fortifying Brew. Nice in-cap onto the mage to stop the resheep, but followed up by Minpoike with the clone on Sidu here. Beautiful disarms by Trill. Trill actually porting away here. He should be just fine here. Going to dispel himself, top himself off, and the game is slowing down once again here. So in this situation here, as dampening starting to ramp up, I'd really want to see Prismatic start to hit Mez here. Beautiful drink from Minpoike here, actually resetting the game. This is a full drink, 70% mana. Sidu actually in the middle of the map now, exposing himself to crowd control. Double leg sweep from Trill there, trying to get some pressure going, but this is kind of a rough situation with that drink. That was a perfectly timed drink.
Yeah, that was a big mistake by Method Orange. I don't know if Mez could have shut that down or if they could have really committed, but Minpoike was essentially completely tapped on mana. Maybe Method Orange, they just don't want to take any risks in the matchup. They know Sidu's mana is going to be able to hold on long enough. Doesn't matter how many times Minpoike drinks, but definitely something to consider. Fried Kitty out in the open right now, getting some decent damage over onto Trill. Mez, Trill, they're pushing forward. They're trying to get the damage rolling on Fried Kitty. Once again, Minpoike sits down for a drink. Method Orange kind of realizing, like, hey, we need to get this burst damage rolling. We can't allow Minpoike to get out of combat for so long in this match. We really have to keep up the pressure, and I think this is a smart decision by Team Prismatic. If they can't push in, force Method Orange to chase them in the open, and now Trill's kind of been baited. He's caught into a kidney shot with an interrupt on Sidu. Nice setup, full Cyclone incoming. Acro looking like he wants to get some sort of crowd control lined up, but Mez with the chains is going to be able to slow down Acro and deny any of those stuns.
Those offensive pushes right there need to be a lot cleaner. It's a lot of time wasted. They have a 30% health Monk stuck in Cyclones with a Maledict on him, and they need to get that follow-up CC if they're looking to end the game like that. Now Method Orange recovering swiftly. Trill still has every defensive cooldown here. Beautiful disorient by Mez on that kidney shot into a nice double leg sweep by Trill. Maybe a capstone coming off that capstone attempted on Minpoike but missed. And Fried Kitty under a lot of pressure right now. Still only one ice block remaining for a while now. As they push into Sidu, bash onto Sidu, are they swapping Sidu? Swapping onto Sidu, I think training the Shaman is actually a decent option here, but not when your mage is dying with this in-cap on Minpoike. Trill keeping the pressure on there. Full kidney from Acro there, looking to get some follow-up CC. Haymaker on Minpoike from Sidu there. And Fried Kitty, honestly, in a lot of trouble right now.
Yeah, he definitely is. Like you said, the Cold Snap, it's not available for quite some time. He still has one ice block left at 21% dampening. We've seen the burst damage Method Orange has been able to get off, if they can get a triple leg sweep out of the Blinding Sheet. So we'll have to see if they can set that up once again. It might be an unrecoverable situation for Minpoike, but there's been good control from Team Prismatic. It looks like they're starting to get good control of the matchup. Full kidney shot on Trill. There is no trinket. Cyclone onto Sidu. He's got the trinket Spirit Link. Fortifying Brew, Battle Master is used by Trill, and he has so much hit points with those two abilities combined. And a massive touch of death incoming. I don't know who it's on. Acro getting the Iron Bark. He has evasion as well as the Cloak of Shadows. Fried Kitty getting a little bit low as well. It looks like Trill, he's just going to be going after Fried Kitty. Mez with the Breath of Syndragosa. Big damage incoming. Minpoike trying to shut it down with a Cyclone, but Trill forced a portal away off the back of a Shadow Step kick. Nicely done there by Acro.
Beautiful trading of cooldowns out by Trill. They're making sure to use that Fortifying Brew and Battlemaster trinket before giving away his Touch of Karma there, because if he did Touch of Karma the mage potentially, the mage could have ice blocked it and he might have just died right through it. So great job by him there, porting in safety. Acro going for the full kidney shot smoke bomb here. No Vendetta committed here. Trill's still under a lot of pressure. Beautiful bash from Minpoike looking for that clone polymorph. There's the double catch right there. The clone does land. Fried Kitty under a lot of pressure. Bark Skin has been used there. Lots of damage. Full sheep on him as 3v1 situation. Karma has been used from Trill and diffused. Slight overlap there, but it's okay. Vendetta has been committed now. Lots of damage onto Acro. Acro with no evasion and a lot of trouble here. Incap on Minpoike.
Yeah, but the Vanish, it looks like it's going to be enough to keep Acro alive, and now it's Trill on the back foot. He's caught into a kidney shot. It was a DR kidney shot. Unfortunately, Acro, I don't know if that was a mistake or just a sort of a desperation stun trying to take him down. Full blind committed onto Sea-Doo. He trinkets out. He's got the Spearling Totem. He's got the Earthen Wall Totem. Trill looking like he's going to be nice and healthy, but doesn't have defensive cooldowns for a really long time. It's super risky in this situation for him to be in midfield and chase down Fried Kitty. He's caught into a full stun. Earthen Wall Totem drops. Nicely done by Sea-Doo, by Method Orange. But things are still looking decent here for Team Prismatic.
Great job by Sea-Doo using that Earthen Totem there, slowing down the next go. Beautiful double elixir from Trill here, trying to get the pressure. They know they're on the back foot right now. The fact that Sea-Doo and Trill both have no trinkets means one good crowd control could be the end of them. Trying to go as defensive as possible. Minpoike starting to go a little low on mana. These Cyclones are starting to ramp up. It's a very expensive mana cost spell. Beautiful incap by Trill there. Kitty from Acro trying to turn the pressure, but Fried Kitty just under so much pressure, cannot get away from Mez whatsoever. More clones coming out. Minpoike needs to look for a drink here. Otherwise, it's not going to be looking good for him.
Definitely not, but Fried Kitty with both ice blocks, not in the worst spot, but at 36% dampening, that's when things can start spiraling out of control. Minpoike's got no mana left, and he has to struggle. This is such a difficult situation to be in. Trill, with his Touch of Karma, with his Fortifying Brew, he's going to be feeling nice and healthy to make the offensive push. There's the ice block. They could easily force the second or just take Fried Kitty down. Minpoike has nothing left to work with. If Trill gets out of the stunning and he uses the Touch of Karma, I could see them just pushing through and taking down Fried Kitty.
Oh my goodness, full sheep onto Sea-Doo here, no trinket available. Trill does use that Touch of Karma. They need to break it, they need to go through here. They cannot run away. Resap from Acrolos, great job by him. Incap on Minpoike, trinketing for that offensive clone on Sea-Doo. Fried Kitty in so much over here, needs to, he's on hypo, I think. Full Lexi with Touch of Death on him, so much damage coming in here. Lots of bursts, Mez going all in here. Full Kitty on the Trill, great kills by Acro. Turning around, everyone is so low. Trill's in so much trouble with no buttons available. And Sea-Doo does not have trinket for that link. If any CC comes in, it could be the end.
Yeah, Sea-Doo's gonna just have to play aggressive. He needs to play on top of Trill and Mez. Drop the Spirit Link Totem. Right now, Fried Kitty in a position where he's not gonna get healed up. He can't run, he can't hide. The Delirium, the Heartstop Aura, really limiting his mobility. Finally, a Shimmer lands, but Trill, Mez, they're gonna be all over him and they take him down. Method Orange claims game number 1.
Like what's going on. Like the gates have finally opened. I'd like to see Acro run in, get a sap on Sea-Doo, full kidney onto Trill, or potentially sap DK, Hodge onto Sea-Doo from Minpoike. We'll see. Looks like he opts for the cheap shot here. Full kidney onto Trill. They've actually gotten to the target, which is very good. Nice silence by Valet to follow that up. Still lots of pressure onto Trill. He does have that poured up though, so Mind Bomb off that does look like they're not going to get too much here. Trill has a just perfect positioning once again in evading the attacks. Yeah,
that Transcendence, that Z-Access, and I feel like if Mez, he can get the Chains of Ice onto Acro, onto Valet, it's going to be really difficult for them to actually chase Trill. So this map may have backfired. There it is, the double blinding sheep, but Valet with his own leap of faith helps Minpoike break free from that crowd control. But it looks like Mez and Trill, they're actually going to be going after Minpoike. And I've heard from a lot of the teams that our Paladins are really susceptible to some of this burst damage the Windwalker Death Knight has, especially that Frost Death Knight. And this could easily be a Divine Shield from Minpoike. Where's the heals? He's getting lower and lower. It's a risky situation.
Beautiful job by Minpoike popping that wings there. Great kills by Acro. Cheap shot onto Mez, kidney shot on the Trill. Hodge onto Sea-Doo into the Mind Bomb sap here. This is what I'm talking about. Trill has no Touch of Karma on the bottom by himself here. Sea-Doo is so far away. If there's any stuns at all, Trill could just fall down here. Unfortunately, Trill is able to get away there. Unfortunately for Acro there, topping himself up. No cooldowns remaining. Still has that Touch of Death for a potential kill, but on the team of Minpoike, they have many cooldowns to work with. Sea-Doo pushing in for that Hex, full Hex on Minpoike here. Valet using that Fade, well done by him, trying to kite it out. Getting those V-touches out, locked out by Mez. Basically just trying to stabilize right now. Another kidney shot onto Trill. Minpoike wants to look for that Hodge onto Sea-Doo soon, or maybe a Silence Mind Bomb combination. Disarm onto Acro. Great job by Trill trying to delay the go. Nice dispel by Sea-Doo into that VT. Dispel might get silenced out. No. Maledicts come flying in. If Trill can line of sight these and not get triple maledicted, it'd be very, very good for their team.
Yeah, I mean, for Trill, it looks like he's going to be able to survive off the back of that Turbo Fist of Fury Parry. Double leg sweep coming in. Acro getting low. And Poike as well going to be taking a little bit of burst damage. That Haymaker knocks Acro into an unprimed position for him. And Poike is really struggling to keep him alive. Divine Favor lands. Big heals onto Acro. But that was a nice attempt there by Method Orange. And they're looking solid. We don't really see a Windwalker Monk able to be this durable against this composition. Method Orange, they're looking bulletproof.
Kind of a brutal, full rep on a Sidu. Poike got it out of no CC, I don't think. And Trill instantly on the run, instantly realizes the danger he's in. Great job of him positioning well, not being attacked by the Rogue. Ports back up to safety from Sidu. And I'm kind of worried about Acro because he traded out the evasion there, and Touch of Death is available for Trill. I could see a big setup coming very, very soon here. Kick from Mez on him and Poike there. Great job by him. Lots of pressure still rolling in from Trill. Valet spamming with mind controls, trying to slow the game down, realizes his Rogue is in trouble. Acro's kind of in a weird spot here because when Poike is a little bit far away, they might want to push him for a setup here momentarily. Full kidney shot on a Trill, looking for that Hodge onto Sidu. Does get the Hodge, Mind Bomb from Valet, potentially following that up. Another kick on him, and Poike's Repentance there. Is the Mind Bomb landing? There it is. Trill using that Touch of Karma, instantly running, realizes the pressure from Pop. Oh, actually, was that one popped off?
I think it might have been. There's a full Mind Bomb sap onto Sidu, and now it's actually Mez in a little bit of trouble, and this is the problem. If you're Trill and you play too defensive in this situation, Mez is a great target. We saw Smexen fall a little bit earlier on today, and Mez, if he's not careful, Acro and Valet definitely have the crowd control and the damage to take him down. This is a really good situation for Team Prismatic. They've got pressure on Mez, on the Trill. The CC does fade from Sidu, and he does have the Ascendance, but he's opting to hold on to it, saving his cooldowns. Double leg sweep, nice leap of faith once again. Valet's been really able to back up Poike in this match.
Full Hex on him and Poike here from Sidu. Acro actually in a lot of trouble having to kite back here. Looks like Method Orange a little bit of afraid to push him because Trill is still dying. Only trinket available for Trill. He still has his Touch of Death. I really like to see him get this out of here because he's had this one for a long time now. But yeah, because right now the cooldowns are just coming back up for Prismatic, and Trill needs to find that opening.
Yeah, and you can even tell. I mean, Method Orange, they know exactly what their win condition is, and they know exactly how they lose. Mez is actually playing a Draenei, so he can use the Light of Naru on Trill as an extra heal when Sidu is in these extended crowd control chains, and I think it's brilliant by Method Orange. Now a full kidney shot on Trill. He could be in some trouble. Finally, some decent damage coming in here for Team Prismatic. In terms of mana, Team Prismatic actually has a lead also, so that could play into their favor, into their victory on this match. Spearhand Strike from Trill denies the follow-up Repentance, and that's going to be really important. If Poike is playing Repentance in this match, it really is up to Mez and Trill to make sure they can deny that.
Acro committing the Vendetta to Trill there, and they were able to get out of that with minimal cooldown usage. That's, I think Method Orange is a good spot. Full Hex on Poike from Sidu. Trill stuck in that kidney shot. Mez got Haymakered off the map there, trying to keep the pressure on a Blade here. Any follow-up CC on Poike, looks like it's not there. Potential reppin'. Nice grip stun. Triple leg sweep from Trill here. Fortifying Brew. This is a major touch death. This is the go we've been talking about. Here it is. This needs to be a major cooldown. Beautiful Ring of Peace on the mount there, preventing him from running away. He does jump off. Now on. Now.
Oh, he got kicked. And Poike in a lot of trouble. Void Shift trades out by the Valet. They can get the Divine Shield as well. That's going to be big. That was a big wind shear there by Sidu, purging the Divine Favor. Acro's not out of it yet. He might have to trade out the evasion. Big go here by Method Orange, but Trill, he's getting low also. Trades out the Touch of Karma. Is it going to be a Blessing of Protection? Unfortunately, Poike doesn't have it. Acro now running, hiding for his life. Shadow steps away. Is he going to be able to kite? It looks like he's healthy for now, but Mez and Trill, they're still all over him.
Sidu has so much work to do here, stuck in that full Hodge. Trill with only Trinket remaining to save him here. Repentance beautifully stopped by Mez there, full double disorient there. Acro's in a lot of trouble here with no evasion to save him at this point. Poike needs to do something quickly here. Beautiful kidney shot on Trill, trying to slow down the pace here. Mez has every damage cooldown available, just breathing all over everybody right now. Sidu caught in that full rep here. Trill in a lot of trouble, stuck here on top of the bridge. Beautiful double leg sweep coming out by him. Valet instantly trinketed that, trying to keep the pressure rolling. And he follows. Beautiful full Mind Bomb right now. Haymaker from Trill. Oh, and doesn't do anything for him. Trill, tank trinket has been procced here. Maybe get a punch on that play.
Oh, good crowd control. Trill still in trouble. He's got the Diffuse Magic. Opts not to use it. There's the Spirit Link Totem from Sidu, but he held onto his Trinket. Good defensive plays. Trill now into a kidney shot. Team Prismatic, they have so much pressure. What can they do? Can they take down Trill? Nice step kick there by Acro, setting up his team, but there's just no damage to be found. Trill, he's got the Fortifying Brew, he's got the Diffuse Magic, he still has the cooldowns to survive, and both Sidu and Trill, they've got their Trinket, they've got Anti-Magic Zone. Now it's Team Prismatic that's going to be on the back foot.
This is a mana game right now. Sidu still fully tapped the mana. Cheap shot there, maybe potentially follow up. Cheap shot to full Mind Bomb. Kidney shot on Trill, does get the Fortifying Brew up. Nice grip by Mez, trying to counter pressure with this triple disorient here. Any leg sweep to follow up. Unfortunately, no. Poike instantly kiting out, realizes he's the target of choice. Nice Ring of Peace by Trill, denying the running away. Instantly, they're right on top of him, doing everything everything they can to get on top of him. They need to force a bubble or a blessing protection right now.
Yeah, and they might be able to get it, but that leap of faith once again, Valet, what an incredible player. He's been able to back up Minpoike throughout this match. Those leap of faiths have saved Minpoike time and time again, and that's maybe what they picked this map for. Silence now over on to Sidu. Sidu's got no mana. He might have been a little overzealous with his purges in this match. Trill, though, with a lot of his defensive cooldown, should be able to hold on, and Minpoike completely stabilizes with his Avenging Wrath. Acro taking a little bit of damage. He still has no evasion, but a full Hex is snuck in there by Sidu. Mind Bomb, both teams, both healers in crowd control. Full kitty shot onto Trill. Team Prismatic looking to close out game number 2. They are behind right now. Method Orange does have a 1-0 lead, and if they could tie up the series, obviously going to be really good for Team Prismatic, but they still have their work cut out for them. Trill going to be able to kite away. He's got the Diffuse Magic. Hammer of Justice on Sidu. How Control survives. He finally reconnects, lands some heals, and Method Orange stabilizes.
Sidu sitting like 30 seconds of CC. It felt like full kitty shot on Trill. They're still on the back foot here, pushing him for more CC. It does not end right now. Trill does no longer have that touch of karma, so he is in trouble. All he has is that Fortifying Brew in 5 seconds. Full silence on his Sidu. Full blind on the Dwarven Racial there. A lot of trouble. He cannot trinket out. He has no trinket out. Trill has no touch of karma. Beautiful use of Fortifying Brew and Battlemaster Trinket, doing everything he can, cut away. In cap on the Rogue, trying to line aside him, trying to dispel the wound poison, trying to heal himself. He is in a lot of trouble. Beautiful ascendance from Sidu, trying to recover right now.
Yeah, Fist of Fury. Trill doing a really good job kiting, but that Battlemaster is going to fade really shortly. He's going to lose a lot of his health. Sidu has to keep him alive. He needs to get some healing, but there's the touch of death. Valet has the dispersion. He trades it out. That's a beautiful dispersion. That would have been the end of the game if he hadn't traded that out with the full Hex over on him in Minpoike. But Team Prismatic, they still have Divine Shield. They still have the Ultimate Sacrifice. Things are looking good, and it's going to be Method Orange who needs to start playing a little bit more defensive in the matchup. However, that was the blind go, so Sidu does have his trinket available for the next crowd control chain. Unfortunately, if blind rotates back up, then that could easily be a win condition for Team Prismatic.
Trill in so much trouble right now. If he gets kidney shot right now, full stun, beautiful stun, denying the kidney shot here. Lots of damage on Minpoike, trying to turn it around, trying to force that bubble from him. Full kidney on Trill. He's stuck in the side. Sidu triggers the silence, dispels the BT, and dies.
Wow, what a close game, though. I mean, Method Orange
For this run to BlizzCon, or is it going to be Method Orange?
Only time will tell. Right now, we are tied 1-1. However, Method Orange, they do have a little bit of a lead because they did win the blind pick, and that is going to play into their favor. If they trade wins into a Game 5, it is going to be Method Orange with the composition as well as the map advantage, and that can definitely decide a series. So, Team Prismatic, they're going to have to win the swing match. If they can win this game, things will be looking really good for them. Looks like they're actually going to be going after Sidu in this match. Kidney shot. He trades out the Astral Shift. He should be able to survive this early pressure. But I feel like one of the difficult things for Team Prismatic with this strategy is Pride Kitty is going to have a really difficult time staying on target. With the Delirium, the Heartstop Aura, not being able to shimmer, as long as Sidu's in Ghost Wolf and just pillaring, Pride Kitty is not going, it's just a fact. He's not going to be able to stay on target for large amounts of time. Basically, his only contributing damage will be a Frozen Orb, a Comet Storm, an Ice Nova, and outside of that, his damage will be really negligible.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the opener onto the healer there, but actually a lot of damage coming out from Acro. Kidney shot onto Trill, Vendetta committed as well. Triple CC once again. Resheep onto Sidu, Mez out of CC as well. Touch of Karma has been forced there. This could be a lot of trouble here. There's a lot of damage on the Trill. The Karma stuff, it might be broken now. Used every single button. Fortifying Brew, Diffuse Magic, Incap on him, Minpoike to try to stop some of these Cyclones on him. Sidu needs to stop this clone from Minpoike onto Trill, and Mez just stuck out in the open right now. Cannot do anything. Looks like Method Orange is finally being able to recover right now. Smoke Bomb onto Trill as well. Lots of damage still coming in. Full Sheep onto Sidu again. Offensive clone here. Kind of a missed timing here. Trying to cancel that clone to keep the pressure rolling here. Disorient onto Minpoike as well, shutting him down there. Resheep onto Sidu. Trill still just dying.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of unfortunate timing there for Team Prismatic. Sidu gets caught into a full polymorph, and Trill's going to be like, all right, this Cyclone's looking kind of good. It's basically an ice block for me. And he's going to be able to survive off the back of that. Now, Kidney Shot landing. Acro actually switching over to Gnome, which is one thing I noticed. He's not really a target in this match, and Chains of Ice has been a big pain for him, so getting out of that massive snare every once in a while is definitely going to be helpful for him to stay on target. So I like that adaptation there from Team Prismatic.
Yeah, no, I was saying in the opener for Prismatic, I feel like the opener is when you really want to try to force lots of cooldowns from the other team. And opening on a Sidu, they don't really force anything. They had perfect triple crowd control, and all they got was basically Astral Shift, which is already up again. And I think that was kind of a wasted opener. They should definitely stick to the strategy of opening on Trill, and I think they'd have a much better start. Right now, Method Orange did a great job stabilizing through all that pressure there. Acro, yeah, did choose to go the Gnome. Great offensive Cyclone from Minpoike there. Maybe they can get some CC onto Sidu, potentially a bash. Minpoike goes for the recon, clones Mez here. Still cheap shot onto Sidu. Pride Kitty looking for that polymorph there. Does get it. Full kidney shot onto Trill. Mez trying to do anything he can to help. Perfect AMZ there, right on the setup as well, trying to stop that resheep. Disorient onto both DPS from Mez. But Minpoike is right there with the full clone on his Sidu. Trill does trade out that diffuse magic, potentially trying to remove some of these Maledics. Double legacy from Trill, trying to turn the pressure right now. Mez breathing all over him right now. Pillar crosses up. Double kill incoming right now.
Oh, big damage. Fried Kitty with the temporal shield. Bounces back up to a healthy margin. Acro getting a big heal there as well. He did trade out the evasion. That was a nice offensive go by Method Orange, but ultimately they only really got Temporal Shield and Evasion and Ironbark, which really isn't too big of a victory. Trill now trading up the Touch of Karma. He's going to be playing very defensive once again, just trying to line of sight. He's got no diffuse magic, and Maledict is rolling. Sidu's in crowd control. Beautiful plays by Minpoike, pushing in the bash into Cyclone on Sidu. Trill trying to shut down some of this crowd control, but he's still just taking Frostbolts to the face. Minpoike now with a Cyclone. He's honestly on fire in this match. Minpoike playing really beautifully.
Wow, Sidu decided to trade out the Spirit Link there. Doesn't want to risk sitting that full polymorph and potentially dying without his trinket. Minpoike using the Innervate here, looking to get aggressive here. Still keeping the pressure going. Sidu, another full sheep here. Mez really's got to try to stop some of these. Full kidney shot on the Trill. The pressure is rolling in. Potentially a re-CC coming in. Beautiful stop by Mez there. Nice double Disorient on the Sheep and the Cyclone class. Disarm onto Acro. Double Lexi from Trill, turning it around right now. Touch that's been used. Instantly ice blocking higher, trying to save Minpoike's mana and Ironbark here because they see Minpoike could be a target here. Gets Maledicted. Nice dispel by him. Seeing the danger, getting out of it. Going for another clone right now. Clone onto Mez. Full blind on the Sidu. Decides to trinket that out. Full kidney on the Trill here. Potentially any more follow-up on the Sidu. Unfortunately, there's going to be none of that. Minpoike looking to get a drink right now as there's lots of pressure on the other team right now.
This is kind of what happened in game number 1 also. Minpoike, with his healing not being reduced via dampening, he's able to push in, get lots of Cyclones, and it looks like their team has a lot of control of the match, and it's looking good. But once dampening ramps up, he has to spend so much mana, so much time actually keeping Fried Kitty alive that he can't actually afford to get the Cyclones out, and that's when things really start spiraling out of control. So for Team Prismatic, they got to get aggressive in this situation. They get the Touch of Karma, doing a beautiful job so far, but they really got to try to close out the game early, because I feel like as time goes on, the consistent damage from Mez might just be too overwhelming for Minpoike, especially if he can't afford to sneak away and drink. And here's the Breath of Cinder Ghost, so this could easily be the second ice block. Ironbark looking to deny some of that damage. Fried Kitty doing a really good job kiting. Acro with beautiful cheap shots as well. Minpoike, he's running, he's hiding, and he's actually drinking right now. Oh no, he's not. Now finally sitting down for a drink. Sidu tried to shut him down, but Minpoike was able to dodge the capacitor totem, and he can recover a lot of his mana. It's going to be big. Unfortunately, I don't think he was able to, and now that could cost him an ice block.
Fried Kitty left behind here. Minpoike did receive a little bit of mana there. Great job by Acro trying to set that up there. Full sheep on a Trill. Full Kitty on a Sidu out of Ghost Wolf here. Only Ancestral Shift available right now. Potentially could drop an Earthen out of this. Nice double legacy from Trill. Peeling the damage here. Trying to turn it around here. Haymaker as well. Sending the mage to further away from the hero as well. This is very, very good. Lots of damage from Mez here. Cooldowns are being used. Trill has the images out. Fried Kitty's still so low. Ironbark has been used there. Disarm to Acro as there's no kidney shot peels. Looks like Method Orange retreating behind the pillar, seeing what's going on. The go is over. You don't want to risk it anymore. And now Minpoike is once again going for a drink because his team is just stabilized right now. And another kidney shot on Sidu. I think this is very, very good because no one can stop the drink here. The second Minpoike starts realizing, okay, we need to drink. We got to start sheeping defensively. We got to start stunning defensively, and anything you can, because what's going to keep them in the game is having that mana bar. Yeah,
but look at Sidu's mana. He doesn't need a drink. He's chilling hard. Minpoike drinking to full and now behind once again. So, I mean, for Team Prismatic, it's good that Minpoike is able to sneak away and drink. They absolutely have to do that, but they're still running out of time because Minpoike is going to be burning through mana really quickly, landing the Cyclone on Trill. Trill has a lot of his defensive cool, in fact, all of his defensive cooldowns. Are they going to get the crowd control onto Sidu? Bash into full polymorph. Nicely done. Double blinding sheet here by Mez. Do they have the leg sweep? Touch of Death rolling on Fried Kitty. He's able to use the Everyman for himself. He gets the Ironbark, but the damage is so overwhelming. Are they going to kill him through Ironbark? He's getting lower and lower, and Poike doesn't have the heals, and he's forced to trade out the ice block. This is a massive overlap. That damage is insane.
Acro really trying to turn it around here with a cheap shot on him as Kenny shot on a Trill, but there's just no pressure, and now everyone's on stun DR, and Fried Kitty is still so low, and Poike trading out that innovate, trying to do everything he can to stabilize his team here, does not have that Iron Bark available, and Trill and Method Orange with just every cooldown available. Wind Shears are coming in. Sidu getting aggressive here with the purges here, trying to keep the pressure rolling. Full Kitty on a Trill, trying to slow it down. Another Sheep onto Sidu. Karma offensively on the major. He has no ice block. Sidu still stuck in that Sheep, potentially finding a resheep. Nice interrupt there by Mez. Full clone from Mpoike right there for the follow-up. Disarm from Trill onto Acro. Fried Kitty so low right now.
It's so much damage. Iron Bark. Fried Kitty holding on by a thread. And Poike trying to land some heals, but Sidu's there for the wind shear. Is he going to be able to fake cast it? There it is. Bash onto Sidu. Fried Kitty. He just cannot get away. Shimmer is such a long cooldown. The double blinding sheet into a double leg sweep. I don't know how Fried Kitty's going to be able to survive. Ice Barrier comes in, but the damage is overwhelming. He's trying to kite away. Acro doing everything he can to keep up the pressure, but massive damage. Sidu throwing in Lava Burst. Mez all over him. Mpoike somehow has managed to keep him up, but there's not an ice block in sight for such a long time that I feel like it's almost an inevitability at this point that Team Prismatic's going to fall.
Full Kitty on his Sidu.
Uh-oh!
CC right here. Sidu in so much trouble, so far away from his team. No Spirit Link available at this time because nobody's near him. Ancestral Shift sitting in that Ghost Wolf, trying to line aside the mage, making sure he does not get purged here. He's got to play this slow. He's got to pay attention here. Great job. Trill is there to peel the rogue away. Sidu coming out of form for 1 second here. In cap on the rogue. Sidu trying to line aside the rogue as well. Slows onto the mage. Sidu still in so much trouble here. If he gets kidney shot, he could easily go down here. And Poike just drinking in the middle of the map while this happens as well.
Yeah, that was such a good turnaround for Team Prismatic. Acro, you have to shout him out. I mean, getting all that pressure on Sidu forced Method Orange to play defensive, and Fried Kitty finally had a moment to breathe. Sidu doing a really good job, really abusing that Chains of Ice, allowing him to just line of sight Acro, and he's going to be fine. He's going to be healthy for the time being. He's got his Trinket, he's got a Spirit Link Totem, he should be able to survive, but Team Prismatic in that situation, beautifully done. Double leg sweep coming in once again from Method Orange. They're looking to get the setup. Fist of Fury stun coming in, Acro with a vanish, cheap shot, but now a triple blinding sheet. Still Fried Kitty, there's no ice block available for another 3 minutes. Paralysis on him in Poike. There's the crowd control that they need. Battle Masters, is it going to be enough? It's going to fade shortly. Fried Kitty barely holding on, but a wind shear from Sidu should close out the game. And Method Orange, what a close game that was, but
go all of the way to that game 5 with Team Prismatic bringing in Valet.
All right, going into game 4 here. This could be the last game of the tournament for Prismatic here. And honestly, I really love the map pick here. Hook Point, great for small map. Shaman can't run away. It should be very easy for Mpoike to secure those Hodges and follow up with the Mind Bombs and the Silences and Saps. And already opening onto Mez here. Hodge, Mind Bomb onto Sidu here. Potentially going for that rep. Great grip. Double disorient by Mez. Peeling this first go. Kidney shot on a Trill. Now the target of choice here. Acrolo is actually stuck in a Hex right now with double sweep from Chill. Instantly turning the pressure here. Trying to keep it rolling right now.
Yeah, big damage on Valet. This is the breath of Syndragosa you see from Mez. Unfortunately, I feel like he ran out of runic power very early on, so not able to continue that chain. And is going to lose out a little bit of damage because of that. Drill now into a kidney shot, and Mpoike pushing forward. He wants to get the crowd control, lands it onto Sidu. Sidu tried to ground it, but unfortunately, Mpoike not fooled. He lands the Hammer of Justice into a full repentance, Blessing of Protection onto Valet, and that's going to be removing that touch of karma. Trill in a world of trouble right now. The anti-magic zone, the fortifying brew, enough to potentially keep him alive, but he's still not topped off, and the crowd control is not over.
Full Mind Bomb onto Sidu here, finally getting out of it. Trill trading out every single button except that Diffuse and Trinket. Good job by him holding those. Those will definitely come in handy when those Maledics come flying in soon. Method Orange currently on the back foot right now. Really need to try to turn something around here. Sidu needs to stabilize him. Hex coming out onto Acro as well. Instantly relieving the pressure. Great job by him realizing there's no way it's going to be stopped. And now things are recovering now. Trying to get the pressure rolling back onto Valet. Then Poike probably going to... Oh, instant grip. Double swing from Mez. Very good job by them. Kidney shot on Trill. Nice. Trill trinketing for the triple leg sweep. Really trying to get aggressive here. Trying to turn things around. Capstone, great job by Sidu off the leg sweep there. And Valet using that fade right now. Mpoike trades out the Order Mastery. Both Acro and Valet are under a lot of pressure right now.
That was one of those times where for Trill, it looked like a juicy setup, but that might have been a bait. He traded out his Trinket. He wasn't able to really get any defensive cooldowns outside of just the fade. And now without his Trinket, without his Touch of Karma, he's going to be vulnerable. Full sap on a Sidu Trill. He's got to run. He's got to hide for his life. He's in so much trouble. Sap onto Sea-Doo. Hammer of Justice lands, but the Trinket Spirit Link on the kidney shot. That's going to be big, but there's not too much healing left for Sea-Doo. He pops the Ascendance. That's the last line of defense. Trill, he's got the Touch of Karma rotating back up, but I'm pretty sure Acro has his blind. He does. He's got a full blind available here for Sea-Doo, and there it is. Trill, he's got to get the Karma off. Paralysis. He's still kiting. Nicely done by Trill. If he can just hold on a little bit longer, trades out the Touch of Karma. Is there going to be a Blessing of Protection? There is. Now Trill, he's still in trouble. Full Repentance. He runs back into the fight, but it might be a little bit too soon. Sea-Doo's been crowd control for the last 20 seconds, and Trill somehow managed to survive.
Wow, great job by Trill here. The positioning is incredible. Realizing one kidney shot and it's all over. Sea-Doo finally out of CC, able to stabilize his team again. Trill running right back in now. They used a lot to try to kill him there. Boom, the pressure's right back on Valet, trying to get that dispersion out of here. Sea-Doo actually got step kick. Acro now disarmed. The pressure is just completely alleviated. That looked very bad there, but just Trill staying calm there, kiting back, using that Ring of Peace to keep the Rogue off of him, and it completely saved his life. Now Hodge on to Sea-Doo, looking to get some CC follow-up here, potentially double disorient. I mean, Poike trying to get rep, does get kicked on it. Mind Bomb there on a Sea-Doo, kidney shot onto Trill. Beautiful earthen by Sea-Doo, realizing the go was happening. Port by Trill as it ends. Full rep on a Sea-Doo, though. This could be a lot of trouble here. Trill with that Fortifying Brew, trying to heal himself up, trying to kite the Rogue here. Vendetta's been committed as well. This is a lot of trouble for Sea-Doo. Silence has been followed up now. Beautiful Fist of Fury parry there. Might have gotten the kidney shot there. Trill still doing a great job kiting and consistently dispelling those poisons, helping his healer, removing that wound poison. Full kidney Sea-Doo, or Mastery Hex onto Acro Walls. Nice. Beautiful timing on that, and they'll be just fine here.
Yep, Trill, he's still on 50% health, but all those short defensive cooldowns rotating back up. Touch of Karma up in just 10 seconds. Double leg sweep incoming. Now Method Orange looking to reverse the pressure. Massive damage onto Minpoike. Immediate Divine Shield. He's not messing around. He realized that was so many offensives by Method Orange. He was most likely going to die or have to trade anyway, so that's a good read. He's going to be able to keep Valet nice and healthy, and now Team Prismatic, they can focus on offense rather than just struggling to recover.
A little scary for Prismatic right now. After using that bubble, now it's full force onto Valet right now. Sea-Doo and Trill have many cooldowns coming back up here, and they have no way to remove the Touch of Karma now, so that's a huge potential kill window gone now. Full kid on Trill, smoke bomb by Acro. Great job, Hodge on Sea-Doo, looking for some follow-up right now. Potentially rep, silence, or a Mind Bomb. We will see. Mind Bomb full, need to get a sap off that. Beautiful grip by Valet, instantly grip back by Mez, very well aware of that. Keeping that chain device, beautiful mind control, forcing the trigger from Mez. Nice sap by Acro onto Sea-Doo. Spam mind control from Valet is the best possible healing as well. Cheap shot as well, doing everything they can to save Minpoike. Minpoike with absolutely no buttons as well, nowhere to run. Full kidney shot on Trill, alleviating the pressure. Great job. Trill actually in a lot of trouble now as well. Sea-Doo needs to do some work here to catch up.
Yep, Fortifying Brew, Transcendence, Diffuse Magic. How is Trill going to rotate those defensives to survive? Sea-Doo, 9 seconds left on that Spirit Link Totem. He wants to definitely have the Trinket and the Spirit Link Totem at the same time. Earthen Wall going to be available. Minpoike without his Divine Shield, he's going to be feeling vulnerable. And Mez trying to just solo him at this point of the game. If Trill can push forward, he can hold on 44 seconds for the Touch of Karma. He can use that aggressively to take Minpoike down, but he has to get to that point in the game. And it looks like Method Orange might be able to stabilize. Trill doesn't have his Trinket. There's a full Repentance. What is Trill going to do? Fortifying Brew, Turbo Fist, Fists of Fury. Lots of damage incoming here from Method Orange. Valet on the back foot a little bit, but the Shadow Priest, he is another class that just has so many defensives he can rotate through. The Dispersion, the Fade, the Trinket, still all available here for Team Prismatic. And if they do an all-in onto Minpoike, Valet will have that Void Shift in order to keep him alive. He can exchange his hit points for Minpoike, so Team Prismatic, they're going to be feeling relatively safe as well. And both these healers are even on mana.
Yeah, Sea-Doo attempting a Hex on Minpoike. Great Hodge by him in the positioning there. Oh, unfortunately, fakes Troll and kick. Nice in cap to stop the rope. Gets sapped off the Hodge. Beautiful disarm into Acro, denying the kidney shot. Troll ports away and dispels his poisons. He will be just fine here. That was very, very good. That could have been very bad for them there. And Valet under a lot of pressure right now. Mez going in for the double disorient. Potentially a leg sweep coming out. Touch of death on Minpoike. Nice kidney shot by Acro, completely denying the go there. Triple stuns out. Silence on his Sea-Doo. I'd love to see a Mind Bomb. There it is. We need to see a sap or a rep out of this, and this could be the game. Touch of Karma has been used. Lots of damage going on Trill.
Plus protection
broken now.
Yeah, plus protection on that Touch of Karma. And now Trill, he's vulnerable. He's gotten himself out of so many situations in this game. Can he hold on? Spirit Link Totem drops out. Ascendance as well. Method Orange once again trades, and the only way you get to this point in the game is having a Windwalker Monk. It's absolutely insane at keeping himself alive, and Trill's been doing a phenomenal job so far in this game, but Team Prismatic, they just have unrelenting pressure, unrelenting crowd control, and they still have a lot of win conditions in this game. Trill with no touch of karma, he's going to be vulnerable. Caught into a full kidney shot, and Poike pushing forward, looking for a hammer of justice. Sidu trying to get the grounding totem. Did he ground it? That's the question. Triple leg sweep coming in. Method Orange, Breath of Syndragosa, massive damage on him. Poike, offensive purge is coming in. Then Poike gets his health swapped with Valet. Valet saving the day.
Wow, great job by Valer, realizing the danger of the situation. Sidu into a full hodge, instantly trying to turn around the pressure. Is there any fall? Full repentance on the Sidu. Good thing he held that trigger for that Spirit Link. Disarm onto Acro. Still Valer under a lot of pressure. Has that dispersion. Trill on the run here. Needs to do everything he can to not die here. Full Mind Bomb onto Sidu here. Stuck in that, holding his Trinket. Nice peels by Mez there as well. They got to try to keep the pressure up here while they have no bubble, no bop available. This is Wings from Mpoike. Right after this Wings, I would love to see a push from Method Orange right now.
Would too. Trill, Fortifying Brew fades. There's the silence onto Sidu. Trill still getting low. He wants to play aggressive here onto Valet, but I don't know if he has enough time. He might have to actually kite. Trill may have overstayed his welcome. Touch of Karma trades out, and he will ultimately survive off the back of that cooldown. But that wasn't necessarily the best time to trade that out. Sidu wasn't in any crowd control. I think Trill could have played a little bit more defensive there, but you can't blame him for wanting to get offensive at a moment in the game.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate he had to use that there, because that would have been incredible if he could have used that Karma offensively, having no fear of dying in a go. Boom, grip on Mpoike, kidney shot again, beautifully timed by Acro there, denying the leg sweep. Full hodge onto Sidu. Can anyone stop this rep from Mpoike coming in? Trill porting away, realizing he's in trouble. Full Mind Bomb, Haymaker onto DK. Mez is so far away right now. Lots of trouble from Trill here. Anything off the Mind Bomb. In cap by Acro, denying that resap. Great job. Trill using that diffuse magic. Sidu, Earthen Totem down. So much trouble right now on the team of Method Orange.
Yep. Trill, how are you going to survive? This is such a difficult situation for Method Orange to be in. Team Prismatic, they're pushing. They're looking to tie up this series. Kidney shot on Trill. His defensives are rotating back up, but I think that silence is going to be enough to keep him alive. And it looks like Valet, he's actually caught into a stun. And Poike as well, nice offensive setup here by Method Orange. That'd be exactly what they need in order for Trill to survive. Touch of Karma, not going to be up for 20 seconds. Fortifying Brew, going to be rotating back up. Method Orange, they need to start finding some pressure in the game. Fortifying Brew trades out. They're going after Mpoike, and Mpoike, he's got 6 seconds left on that Divine Shield. Method Orange certainly does not know that, and they might get over-aggressive. If Trill stays in the fight thinking he can trade out the Touch of Karma, it's just going to get bubbled, and he could easily fall. Trill looking to make the offensive push. The Touch of Karma trades, but Divine Shield, it's not a trade out. There it is. And Mpoike baits Trill. You can't really blame Method Orange in that situation.
To be their last chance to try to make it to BlizzCon. You look at Prismatic, and they have their core roster that's overperformed even at other lands when they haven't had their mage. This is going to be their last chance to get to BlizzCon. Who's going to be sent home? We find out right now.
Yeah, let's see what Trill can get done on the Demon Hunter. It's going to be up to him in order to survive. I mean, it's such a difficult task for a Windwalker Monk, and I think it's almost an equally difficult task for a Demon Hunter. He's probably going to get trained down in this game. The one good thing is he brings Reverse Magic, which is going to be able to free up Sidu from some of that crowd control as well. He provides a lot of self-healing to himself, potentially even more than the Windwalker Monk. So I think Valet, Acro, they're going to have their work cut out for them.
Right now, Method Orange instantly taking a great stand in his last game. And Poike actually opting in for the melee wings as well. He realizes the cleave potential of the Demon Hunter DK. Sidu using that Earthen Totem, preventing any sort of go here as well. Still lots of pressure and a grip on him, and Poike instantly swapping to him. Very, very good. Tries to freedom, mount away, does get away. Cheap shot onto Trill. Hodge onto Sidu from Mpoike there. Acro still under so much pressure though. Mpoike locked out actually. Can Trill connect here? Mind Bomb stuck on Mez, stuck in the bottom there. Unfortunately, still lots of pressure coming on Mpoike as those wings are gone.
Yeah, Trill is so scary on that Demon Hunter. Always able to put out more pressure than anyone we've really seen. Hasn't been too much pressure here for Team Prismatic just yet. Finally, a full kidney shot going to be landing. What is Trill going to do? Sidu jumps in, lands the heals that he needs. There's no Earthen Wall Totem available. Valet trying to set up some damage for his team. Poike in the back line, tossing out some heals. Without that Avenging Crusader, his team is vulnerable. He gets gripped in, triple Blinding Sheet. There's a Mana Burn, triple Chaos Nova. Big setup here. Mpoike, is he going to fall? Divine Shield gets popped out in the nick of time, but Method Orange, that was clean.
That was a beautiful purge from Sidu right there onto the trinket of Mpoike. That's why his health dipped so low and the shield just disappeared there, instantly keeping the pressure onto Valet there. That was insane. They got the grip into the triple stun, into the triple Mana Burn damage. That was ridiculous right there. Trill pushing it on Mpoike, keeping the pressure on him. Constantly going for those Mana Burns right there. If he can slowly rot away Mpoike's mana, it's going to be a completely done deal.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Mpoike, he realizes A main win condition here for Method Orange is actually getting him out of mana. He tried to go for a drink, and he was rewarded with a mana burn. So Trill on point in this match. Mez and Trill, they really have to be well coordinated. If Minpoike can be denied drinking, Method Orange could easily win this game. If Minpoike gets to just free drink, it's going to be looking good for them. Trill still a little bit low. He pushes forward, trying to get that damage rolling on Minpoike. Keep in mind, he's got no Divine Shield. Valet, though, of course, always going to be having that Void Shift available at any moment in the game. He can exchange his hit points for Minpoike's, and that might be the last line of defense for Minpoike to actually survive. Minpoike caught into a Chaos Nova, into another stun. Is it going to be the Void Shift? And it does trade out, but now Team Prismatic, they don't have much left.
Yeah, the melee wings coming out from Minpoike here, instantly trying to turn the pressure onto Trill. Under a lot of pressure right now. Still has that Blur defensive cooldown. Sidu does go for the Dispel, any Hodge to follow up. We do not see it because Mez actually kicks Minpoike there. The melee wing is just doing so much damage and healing here, keeping the pressure rolling for him. Trill still under a lot of fire. Silence onto Sidu here. Trill was forced to use that Blur there. Mind Bomb there. It does sit because the Kitty Shot follows up. He cannot reverse magic this. Boom, AMZ used from Mez. Great choice by him there as the Vendetta is committed from Acro. This is a huge push right now, and Method Orange perfectly traded out cooldowns for it.
Yeah. Their cooldown, the defensive cooldown usage from Method Orange has been solid, but equally so. I mean, Team Prismatic, they've been doing a phenomenal job. There's been no overlap so far. This is probably my favorite series of the tournament so far. Everything on the line for both of these teams. We're at a tied series. Loser of this game is out of the tournament. Everything to play for. What are these teams going to do? Trill pushing forward, trying to get the damage rolling over on Minpoike. Once again, the leap of faith from Valet does free Minpoike from the chains of Mez and Trill. Mind Bomb on Sidu, full kidney shot on Trill. This is the push Team Prismatic wants. Mez trying to shut it down with a double Blinding Sheet, double Chaos Nova. Big damage incoming from Method Orange, but a nice mind control from Valet is going to deny Mez any damage. Nice play by Valet, keeping his team alive.
Beautiful job by Valet there, gripping Minpoike out of the danger there, instantly spamming mind controls, but instantly Trill and Mez and Sidu are all three running at Minpoike, knowing he has no bubble and no melee wings available. Silence going on to Sidu from Valet. They're trying to turn the pressure on with that Kitty Shot onto Trill. Nice Mind Bomb to follow it up. Still no reverse coming in. There it is, right off the Kitty Shot. Great job by them. Nice kick by Mez onto Minpoike, trying to keep the pressure rolling here on anything he can.
Yep, Trill's trying to have high uptime. He needs to get the damage rolling. Minpoike has been nice and stable with his mana. Although Trill has been landing mana rest, it doesn't seem to be that significant so far. Sidu actually behind in terms of mana. Minpoike, really good job. Trill now caught into a kidney shot, could be vulnerable. Breath of Syndragosa, this is the damage. Mez just going to be looking to solo down Minpoike. Minpoike in a lot of trouble. He pops the Avenging Crusader. He's looking to keep himself alive with that cooldown and ultimately is able to do so. I think Valet actually landed another mind control on Mez to shut him down. Really beautiful defensive peels.
Yeah, Minpoike definitely going to be a little afraid now to try to be aggressive, to try to get those Hodges, because he has no melee wings now, and it looks like Trill and Mez instantly attacking the second he comes in line of sight. Mez running it in the entire game. A setup attempted from Prismatic here. Vendetta available for Acro. I'd like to see a nice, maybe a Hodge into a silent setup here with a kidney shot on Trill. There's the cheap shot onto Sidu. Haymaker onto Mez away, trying to get some damage going. Method Orange just unfazed, keeping the pressure rolling. Minpoike really sitting far back here, something we haven't seen. He realizes he's a kill target. There it is right now. Potentially a life here from Valet. Needs to come in here on the stun, try to prevent the mana burn. Beautiful disorient by Mez there, shutting that down.
Yeah, but look at Minpoike. He's got the Divine Shield. Can they force it out? It's going to be big for Method Orange if they can. Gladiator Safeguard procs. Minpoike crossing the map. Mez still all over him. Fakes out the Mind Freeze. Lands a big heal, and it looks like he is going to be stable. But his mana's not looking great. Method Orange, their hit points are doing quite well in this game. I mean, we've seen Team Prismatic with good setups so far in the game. Double Mind Bomb coming in, but Trill's been able to keep himself alive with beautiful self-healing. Wow. Unfortunately, not able to find too much healing. Caught into a kidney shot. He's got the Darkness. They got the Trinket Spirit Link. I feel like Method Orange still in a prime position as long as they don't overlap the defensives.
Good aim, anti-magic zone trade out by Mez on that Vendetta, always holding it for that. That is the best time to use it, and it shows living through these goes. And then Minpoike runs out into the open. Beautiful grip by Valet, denying that mana burn from the Demon Hunter. Instantly grip back by Mez, keeping the pressure on him. Minpoike on his mount, trying to go.
Uh-oh!
Oh, getting on the Trill.
Yeah, big damage. Sidu has to trade out the Trinket and the Spirit Link. Triple Mind Bomb incoming. Valet setting up his team. Trill, he's got the Blur, he's got the Darkness. He still has a lot of tools to live, but he's going to have to keep himself alive. Repentance on Sidu. Method Orange isn't out of it just yet, but I feel like with the cooldowns they committed, they should be able to survive. But Team Prismatic, they're doing such a good job. There's been scary moments on Minpoike, but they always have something available. Here it is, another big setup. Valet trades out the Dispersion. Minpoike trades out his Divine Shield and his Avenging Crusader. Method Orange got what they needed. They just have to survive a little bit longer. If they can do another setup like that, it's going to be lights out for Team Prismatic.
That was every single button possible from Prismatic. Only the Bop and the Sack remaining right there. We would like to see a setup immediately. They need to get on the aggressive with this melee Wings right now. They can do a lot of damage and a lot of healing with this right now. Method Orange with minimal cooldowns. Full blind on Sidu, no trinket. Kidney shot on Trill, instantly trinketing, realizing needs to press that blur. Trying to shut down Valet right now. Is there going to be a follow-up? No follow-up. Beautiful stun by Trill, denying the sap there. Silence, Repentance being cast. It lands on him in Poike with no reverse magic available. Trill's actually locked out. He actually gets reverse on it. Very, very good. Poike stuck in that half rep. Acro trades out the cloak there, and this is really scary for Valet right now with no buttons remaining.
Yeah, there's nothing left, and Poike, he does have ultimate sacrifice, I believe, but a kidney shot drops out on the Trill. Is he able to get the darkness out? He needs to drop the darkness as soon as possible. Poike sneaks into Repentance. Triple Chaos Nova incoming. Valet, he's already used his dispersion. He's already used his life swap. He's in a lot of trouble. They're going after him. Poike, beautiful cleave damage coming in from Method Orange, but Trill, he's still in trouble. Sidu doesn't have any emergency healing. Trill has no defensive cooldowns left. He trades out the darkness in order to survive. Mez trying to keep the pressure rolling on him, and Poike, Valet has dispersion rotating up quite quickly, and Poike gets gripped away. Mez and Trill, they gotta keep the chase. Are they gonna be able to? But there's a full kidney shot onto Trill.
Lots of damage going out here. Trill, Mez did get the grip, but Poike actually gets away from them right now. Kidney shot onto Trill. Sidu is out of mana with no real cooldowns to save them. Valet has that life swap available. Things are looking good. Vendetta's been used by Acro. Lots of damage going out onto Trill here, trying to do as much damage as possible. Beautiful silence onto Sidu here, potentially into a Mind Bomb right there, looking for the reversal. Great job by Trill, kiting it out, realizing he needs to go defensive. Full kidney, Acro's right in there. A Hex on him, and Poike actually from Sidu, sneaking that one in there. Wings is up from Poike. Nice proc, good timing on that, keeping his team stabilized as the push continues.
Yeah, double, triple blinding sheet. Method Orange, this is the setup they need. Big damage, dispersion trades out. Poike is in a lot of trouble. Busting in protection, Sidu with the immediate purge. Poike, how are you gonna live this? He needs to run. They got the Void Shift, but Valet's low also. It's not gonna be able to help him too much. Mez pushing forward, Trill as well. Hammer of Justice on Trill. Sidu gets the Dispel. All three members of Method Orange dogpiling on him. Poike, he's got the Avenging Crusader, but he's got no mana. He's got no mana left. Valet has to trade out the Void Shift. It doesn't do anything. Poike trying to survive, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Trill and Mez looking to close it out. Team Prismatic holding on by a thread. Method Orange with the reverse hit on the Trill, but Poike ultimately falls. This could potentially be a cross kill, but Method Orange, they managed to do it. Spirit Link Totem drops down, and I feel like Method Orange, there's no way that they lose this game in this situation. What a beautiful series. Honestly, standing ovation for Team Prismatic and Method Orange. That was my favorite series. Wait.
It's a cross.
It's actually a cross kill. Valet, Acro, can they do the impossible? This would be an absolute miracle.
Oh my goodness,
Full Chaos Nova.
Beautiful peels. Acro's right there trying to stop it. Nothing available. Double the swing coming out right now. Lots of damage. Okay, Acro 1v2 situation with no defensive cooldowns left. Mez and Trill right here. Mez instantly peeling. Trill running away, waiting for his board to come up. Acro doing everything he can to get there, but this is looking rough. DR kidney shot on the Mez. No way to get the Trill. I don't think he's going to be able to take this one now.
This just completely embodies what this series looked like, though, as well. You really do have to give it up for everything Team Prismatic was able to do. Definitely getting a little bit of damage here onto Trill. He creates a little bit of space, trying to kite him as much as possible. Chains of Ice going to go out from Mez. Acro trying to close that gap, but he will fall inevitably, even inside of that Vendetta. And just like that, Prismatic's road going to come to an end.
And ultimately, since neither of those will be going to BlizzCon, that means only one of the remaining 6 teams will follow that fate. 5 of the remaining 6 teams will be going to BlizzCon. That's a pretty good odds for all of these guys. Winning this one would be huge strides towards that. Of course, Diabolus and Wildcard Gaming have both been consistently strong performers in the European region. Wildcard Gaming did have that big upset victory against M2KC at the top of the day, but Diabolus have been consistent throughout summer. And I mean, this Rogue Mage Druid, really, only Method Black's been able to beat them so far.
I mean, there's a reason for that. They're an amazing team, great synergy. As you can see right now, they're moving up, waiting for the invis, get a full sap on the Morrow, kidney on the Looney. I think they're actually committing the Looney, which is very surprising, very different from what we've seen from M2KC. Cyclone on the Morrow, Avatar already popped by Blizzo, and Sharpen. Nice kick by Blizzo, actually. Alec not able to play the game currently, getting shut down by Blizzo. Combustion committed by Morrow. Alec definitely dangerously low, temporal shield pop, and I think he should be okay.
Yeah, that was the Temporal Shield and the Iron Bark, but honestly a promising start from Wildcard Gaming. Meanwhile, Looney on this Mistweaver Monk has been a thorn in the side of the Rogue Mages so far. So difficult to land crowd control on him, though Alec does find a Polymorph. Mauro basically exposed, doesn't have any Restoration Druid Hots or anything like that. Now we see the War Bannered Cyclone, nice play from Blizzo, denying and breaking up the crowd control chain so that the Life Cocoon can connect.
Yeah, I mean, Mauro is still dangerously low even with the Cocoon up. Hopefully Looney is able to top him at some point, but Alec also dropping pretty low. Still has both his Ice Blocks, shouldn't be too scared. Nixie's still holding on to the blind, possibly getting Trinket out of Looney, and I'm pretty sure that at some point they're going to want to swap the Looney if Looney Trinkets. So maybe they want to follow up with like a Sap or a Polymorph off that. Kick on the Mauro, no pressure going out currently.
Yep, so we've got the blind still available to force that Trinket on Looney. Asgraf actually had to trade his, so it has been a pretty even start to the game. You could certainly see how either team could snowball this one. Alec has the advantage of 2 Ice Blocks over 1, given he's playing the Frost specialization of the Mage, but Mauro on that Fire Mage will have an explosive amount of damage as Burst does set up. So we see the blind. Trinket forced by Looney. Mauro's still low on health. If they can land a Polymorph, they could potentially get the Ice Block here. There's the cheap shot, but Looney did a good job line of sighting prior to that, meaning no follow-up crowd control. The Sheep does land now. Mauro is not out the woods yet.
Yeah, Mauro actually just misses Dragon's Breath. One of the minor mistakes you see from Mauro. Mauro possibly having the Ice Block. Cocoon traded instead. Combustion coming up in 10 seconds, but what Wildcard Gaming needs to be aware of is that Nixie's going to have Vendetta in 40. Looney's not going to have his Trinket. Even if Looney isn't CC'd and they do commit to Mauro, they could also do the other thing, and they can go Looney in a full kidney shot, pop Vendetta on him, possibly throw an orb, and maybe kill him 100-0.
Yeah, I mean, potentially they could. No Trinket on Looney, definitely an exposed weakness there. You can see Vendetta up in 20 seconds, so that would be the big burst of damage from Nixie. Diabolus might look to exploit that, though it is tough because, of course, the Arms Warrior has so much disruption. You know, you got the Intimidating Shout, you got the War Banner, lots of ways you can break up a Rogue Mage's crowd control. And, I mean, if you're going to put a Warrior Toolkit on anyone, Blizzo would be the player. He's been such an outstanding warrior for several years here in Europe. Wildcard Gaming they've just reaped the benefits of that throughout the season. That's why they're here at the summer finals, representing the top 8 teams in EUNA. Full Polymorph over onto Looney, though. Once again, Mauro going to be forced on the back foot, but this guy has such good positioning, able to Nova Nixie. War Banner for the follow-up crowd control once again. Great play from Wildcard.
Yeah, it looks like Mauro's just using every Dragon's Breath defensively, knowing that eventually at some point Blizzard will connect, pressure will build up, Alec dipping kind of low, possibly having the Ice Block. He used Cold Snap early on. I mean, he only has 1 Ice Block left. Asgraf just comes out of the end cap. He still has Iron Bark available. If anything, they should trade the Iron Bark before the Ice Block. Gets Storm Bolt over on the Alec. Kick on to Mauro. Mauro gets counterspell on his Polymorph, not able to follow up with the Sheep. Asgraf got into a full Fury currently.
Yeah, this is looking really good for Wildcard, I gotta say. Second Ice Block is looming for Alec if he can't recover here. Asgraf is trying to juke the counterspell. Looks like he was actually able to do that. Mauro unable to land it. Good plays by Asgraf on that Druid. Such a good Druid. Now he has able to stabilize Alec. Maybe he needs to start pushing in though, because honestly we haven't seen too much crowd control on Looney. Slippery Mistweaver Monk, so much mobility. Now we see them pushing in. Mighty Bash, Looney reads it, gets the preemptive Life Cocoon. Full Polymorph to follow up. Can they burst through it? They're looking for it. Nixie does have the Vendetta, though chooses not to pull the trigger here due to that preemptive play from Looney. Maybe they're actually going to swap some damage over onto Blizzo. We've heard rumors backstage that Arm Warriors can be exposed. Here comes the kidney shot. Here comes the smoke bomb.
No.
They're looking for the kill. No Life Cocoon to answer if they can kill him in the stuns. It doesn't look like it. Die by the Sword is available and he should survive.
The Grow was actually a really good play by Nixie to deny the commanding shout. Blizzo not even using it anyway, and he still has Diabolus Sword available. But yeah, I remember hearing that backstage actually about Warriors being a very viable target. Beautiful Cyclone low on Blizzo at about 60%. Polymorph on the Alec, Leg Sweep on the Asgraf. Let's see if they can get some CC off that. Full kidney shot on the Blizzo. Looks like they want to commit to Blizzo. Still has Diabolus Sword if he has to, but it's looking pretty bad. I mean, Nixie has blind, caught into a Polymorph. Alec is counterspelled. Full Sheep on a Looney. Blizzo might have to trade his Diabolus Sword.
Yeah, he certainly might. And this is what we saw in the Cups. They would tunnel down Mauro, shut him down, and then dampening start to hit. And suddenly there's an Arms Warrior with no self-healing. So that is going to be the target of choice for Diabolus now that we're in dampening. They can cross crowd control Looney and Mauro much easier with the Mage Druid synergy as well. So I do like this strategy adaptation. And suddenly the counter pressure for Wildcard Gaming seems to have been thwarted somewhat. Good Shadow Meld by Asgraf, though the Dragon's Breath still hits. No follow-up. Mauro caught up in a kick. Well played by Nixie. Both teams going mano trophy Mano, but I think Diabolus does have the edge in this one as Dampening starts to stack up higher and higher.
Yeah, Alec is currently locked out and Storm bolted at the same time. Could possibly force an Ice Block, but instead trades Iron Bark. And I think Diabolus is starting to realize, hey, we can't stick on Blizzo forever. Maro is doing way too much to turn the pressure around this game. You can tell by the mana, you can tell by the cooldowns. Ascraft only has Trinket left and Ice Block available by Alec. Also goes for the cheeky drink in the corner, but is stopped by Maro. Really good flame strike by Maro.
Yeah, nice play from Maro. Good awareness. Of course, the Druids can stealth whilst they drink, so you have to be constantly aware of where are they running, where are they likely to go for that drink play. Asgraf did a good job there, forcing Maro into the middle of the map, and again, that can also expose Looney to crowd control. Both healers low on mana. Maro, though, definitely taking the worst end of the damage right now. Still has his Ice Block available, that immunity cooldown, but they might force it out here. Maldix come crashing in. That was the Temporal Shield and the Life Cocoon overlapped. I'm not even convinced that's going to be enough. This is so much damage, so much consistent crowd control from Diabolus, really taking control with that Mage Druid. Now we see the Mighty Bash counterspell on Asgraf. Is it going to be expiring in time? It doesn't, meaning that Looney's able to escape the crowd control chain, get some heals out onto Maro, but 11% dampening, it's already starting to struggle to keep up with this damage from Diabolus, and now the low Cyclones come in. If they land a Polymorph off that, they could even win the game through Ice Block.
I feel like Wildcard Gaming is going to have to force a go at some point because Alec's going to get his second Ice Block back very soon. Asgraf's going to get his Iron Mark back, and they need to also be aware that Asgraf, if he sneaks out for a drink, they need to try to stop that, because if at any point Asgraf does get a mana advantage, I feel like Wildcard is going to be in the back foot in a really bad spot. Full kidney on the Maro, half HP, could possibly have the Ice Block for a Cauterize. Avatar by Blizzo, Bladestorm. Alec actually has the Ice Block. One more coming up in 7 seconds. Hopefully he can live that far. He should be able to with the Iron Bark still available. Cyclone on Maro, decently low, 60%. Avatar still up by Blizzo, finally ends. Blind's coming up in 5 seconds on the Nixie. They're trying the hardest to control him right now, so he can't play the game. Kenny on the Looney, random swap on the Looney actually. If they can get his Trinket here, they could punish his Trinket with Blind and then kill Maro afterwards.
Yeah, and I mean, they're just putting him behind when he's already low on mana as well. Another Life Cocoon comes in, enabling him to look after himself a bit, but Nixie in hot pursuit. If he can't get the heals out, he will end up dying here. Alec, though, so low on health. Second Ice Block comes out, third of the game, meaning he has no defensives left. Asgraf also used the Trinket, and this is an incredible performance from Wildcard Gaming. Throughout the season, we were watching them play the Warrior Mage, but not with the Fire, not with the Mistweaver Monk, and they actually are taking Diabolus to it here in the first game. Blizzo, though, dropping incredibly low, does have access to the Dive by the Sword, trades it out. Is it going to be enough? Commanding Shout is available. Still Cyclones on Looney. I'm not sure he's out the woods just yet.
Oh man, because out of his Polymorph, he needs to try to not get counterspelled. Pops his Aura Mastery to avoid that. Polymorph's going out onto Nixie and Alec. Really good by Maro to stop the Rallying Cry from having to be used. Cyclone on Blizzo around 60% HP. Blizzo's trying his hardest to connect, but by the end of the day, Maro is going to have to put in most of the work in order to peel for his team.
Yeah, I mean, he's got an impossible task. Preemptive Life Cocoon on the Smoke Bomb, though. Such a fantastic play from Looney. That is 100% needed, but still full blind and a new healer, Blizzo. I feel so bad for this poor little arms warrior here. And it's hard to say that about someone like Blizzo, because he truly is one of the most intimidating figures you'll meet in World of Warcraft. Tough luck for him in this one so far. It's looking really, really difficult for him to stay alive. Asgraf will be able to land Cyclones maybe off the Mighty Bash. Doesn't look like he's quite able to find it, but just sheer damage from the Rogue Mage Druid. 26% dampening. Looney somehow, some way stabilizes his warrior, but I mean, there's no defensive cooldowns left. There's no mana left. Diabolus, they don't have Ice Blocks either. It really could go either way, but Blizzo, with no healing left on the table, could well fall here in game one.
Oh, I think if Blizzo could just connect, he can kill Alec. I mean, Alec blinked in offensively to try to get the Polymorph. Didn't get it. Blizzo and Alec both around 40%. Nixie's always also someone you want to look out for because he has no evasion, no Cloak of Shadows. There's Cocoon by Looney, but 28% dampening. The Cocoon is so small. Full kidney shot on Blizzo. He should be 100% fine. I'm surprised Looney can actually keep Blizzo up with that little mana.
Yeah, all-star Europeans in the upper bracket here. Both these teams undefeated. 3-0 victories to start the day. Domination for Wildcard Gaming and Diabolus now going head-to-head here at the Summer Finals. It's looking like it could go either way in game one. Unsurprisingly, Asgraf does have Alex stabilized. Meanwhile, Blizzo once again is on the back foot. Intimidating Shout, denying crowd control. Stormbolt, denying crowd control, but the kidney shot, is it going to be enough? Full Polymorph, they snipe the War Banner. Blizzo will surely fall, and Diabolus surely are going to win this game here. I can't believe he's still alive. Looney, the crowd control drops, he's still in the game.
I can't believe he didn't use his commanding shout there. That's how you know Blizzo knows that there's the limitations of his class. He's doing so well. Cocoon going out into Blizzo. They're actually still alive. I can't believe this. There's Life Cocoon, but he should be fine. Kidney shot. I don't know about this. Go ahead. No CC on the Looney. Sure, Looney's but he instantly gets kicked on his cast.
No way!
No way!
They actually turn it around and Alec falls. Wildcard Gaming.
The boogeyman of this tournament. It's going to be going into an RMD. Who's going to be able to take this?
Yeah, I mean, I would assume Diabolus should get an insane opener here against this comp. I can't see how Wildcard Gaming should be able to stop this sap over on Maro. Maro doesn't get the invis off in time. Cheap shot on a Looney possibly into a go on a Z-Pi. Tries to pre-ring a piece to go, but doesn't really get anybody, so no ring a piece for a bit. They're just playing the waiting game for now, trying to, I guess, get into position to do their first go.
Yeah, that is the ring of peace of someone who is terrified of the opener, by the way. So I'm definitely a little bit worried. I'm just having a little look over at the gear setup for Z-Pi. It looks like he is running the triple pack spirit, so very much intending to be tunneled this game. And actually, I'm going to also check if Maro's running the greater pyroblast. He is, yes. So this is a very standard European kind of answer to the Rogue Mage. I've never seen it played out in tournament play, but I'm very excited to. Certainly on the ladder, it's something we see a lot. The greater pyro mage with the kind of bait of the pack spirit elemental shaman. So we'll have to see if Diabolus do have enough damage to actually burst through that. If Alec is running the Kleptomania, potentially they can burst off the Ghost Wolf with that on their burst setups, but outside of that, there's just a lot of damage to worry about on the side of Wildcard Gaming. Maro, who has been one of the contenders for Best Mage in 2019, definitely has the opportunity to make a name for himself in this one. If he can carry the team, he could put Wildcard one game away from top 3.
Alec's actually dipping dangerously low. Pops Temporal Shield, really good Temporal Shield. Top him long enough for Asgraf to get out of CC, but gets it locked out instantly on his Polymorph. Combustion pop, Meteor missing. Ice block this early? Maro just actually generated so much solar pressure there, it's ridiculous. And this is actually not looking too bad for Wildcard Gaming. I mean, Wildcard Gaming is still doing their go. Walking up, hexing Nixie into a triple DRS sheep. And this is looking not too bad for Wildcard Gaming.
Not too bad. Maro just solo forced an ice block from Alec. Absolutely incredible stuff. Wildcard Gaming really are the wildcard in these tournaments. No one really expected too much from them. Now they're looking to stamp their own place into BlizzCon. We see a kidney shot over on to Z-Pi, but the preemptive life cocoon, is it going to be enough? Elemental Shaman, of course, once he's in Ghost Wolf, he does have that pack spirit healing him up, but he's still got to deny incoming crowd control on Looney. He needs to protect his Mistweaver Monk. The grounding and the wind shear are two very valuable tools that the Shaman has to do that, and he also has a lot of damage. We can see Lightning Lasso, Earth Shock, big burst coming in, Sheep snuck onto Asgraf. Alec once again on the back foot. Temporal Shield will stabilize him, but their offense is gone. Looney, Wildcard Gaming, they have full mana, they have full cooldowns. This is looking pretty reasonable.
I don't know if you noticed, but I think that had to be his 4th or 5th pre-life cocoon on crowd control. That's really impressive that he could read that, especially in a tournament environment where there are no add-ons. That's very impressive to do, very difficult. Maro actually locked out currently. Alec playing a little back. He's a little afraid now seeing that Maro sold his first ice block out of him. Asgraf's Iron Bar coming up in about 10 seconds. Maro stuck in a Polymorph. Good job by Alec. Kenny on the Looney, and it looks like they're making an all-in attempt on the Looney. Not committing the Vendetta, actually, as Nixie gets Polymorphed up. I wonder if he would have actually committed that, dipping dangerously low, trades out the Life Cocoon, rolls away. I think Looney should probably try to stay behind the pillar and try to stay away from Alec. That way Nixie and Alec aren't able to connect and possibly kill him when he does have Life Cocoon up.
Yeah, certainly for the Mistweaver. I think Mistweaver is a viable kill target, but you have to kill him in the stuns, because after the stuns, I think, I believe it's called Healing Spheres. He basically, or Healing Elixirs, I think is the name actually. 2 buttons that you can press off global that heal him for 15% apiece, so 30% heal. Makes him really tough to take down outside of the stuns, so they really have to commit to it if they want to go for a kill on Looney. That said, we've definitely seen it happen before from the Rogue Mages, so it's something we're watching for. Full blind forces the trinket on Looney, could be an opening. They're after Z-Pi right now. They also got his Astral Shift there. It was the Vendetta push though, so a big offensive cooldown used by Diabolus to get that big exchange from Wildcard Gaming, and the brick wall defense has looked good. Alec once again on the back foot, forced to blink away.
I mean, they're ahead of mana right now and ahead of cooldowns. Iron Bark traded by Asgraf, full Polymorph on the Looney, clone on the Maro, full or half Kenny on the Z-Pi, having to trade out the trinket, but no wall is available. Cocoon is available, but Looney's still stuck in Polymorph. Finally comes out, trades the Life Cocoon. Alec actually getting interrupted, and Nixie getting Polymorph with this spelled out. Really good peels by Maro. The Life Cocoon's going to fade fairly soon. Looney also has no trinket or Fortifying Brute. They need to be ready to peel from Looney at some point.
Yeah, they definitely do. Lightning Lasso comes out onto Alec, though. They're looking to get that second ice block. Will they be able to do it? We're approaching dampening, 4.5 minutes into this one. We've got the Dragon's Breath over on Asgraf. They look for it, they find it, and that was an Earth Shock that went into that ice block, so that could have been a dead mage. Nice play by Alec, recognizing, probably looking at the stacks for Zeepai once he's at 100. It is a scary Elemental Shaman you're against. See another Polymorph. This actually could be an opening to swap to Looney. They might look for it here. Full Polymorph, stun DR's off. Watch Nixie, he's got the Kidney. Do they have the DR stun? Maldix connect, this could be the kill. Grounding Totem, Lightning Lasso, Zeepai is all over it, and he saves Looney.
I mean, you could tell he was prepared to play as Elemental Shaman, but even before this game started, he knew he was going to have to play at some point, and that was a really good Lightning Lasso by Nixie, avoiding the kill onto Looney. Looney's still almost double Asgraff's mana, actually. Asgraff does have both his cooldowns available, Bark Skin and Iron Bark. Kidney on the Zeepai. No follow-up CC by Looney. I'm not sure about this Kidney. I think it was defensive. Nixie also getting caught in the Polymorph during the Kidney shot. Looney has Trinket about 5 seconds. He should be okay and not be a target for Diabolus. Dragon's Breath onto Asgraff. Nice kick by Nixie onto the Ring of Frost, but Nixie kind of put himself in a bad spot. Gets stunned by the Primal Elemental in cap on the Asgraff, and Lightning Lasso on the Alec, half poly on the Asgraff. They're doing a really good job stopping this go. I mean, they're not going to get anything with this Kidney shot.
I've got to say, if Wildcard Gaming wins this series, I'm going to have no shame in retracting my statement and saying that Looney is the best healer in Europe, because he has had an outstanding tournament. And I mean, he's been playing every single healer throughout the year to such a outstanding performance. Is crazy how good this guy is on everything. Zeepai once again target of choice. Trades out the Astral Shift here, though honestly it wasn't really the Vendetta or the Icy Vein, so maybe a little bit preemptive from Zeepai. Could potentially be an opening for Diabolus here if they can find something. Full Polymorph on Looney. I'd love to see them commit to this one. Vendetta is available. There's a lot of crowd control. Zeepai behind the pillar and Ghostwolf, but he's low on health. Looks like there's a lot of crowd control to follow. Can they get the Cyclones off that? Unable to. Transcendence Portal away. Looney recovers, gets back to his Elemental Shaman. Blind forces the Trinket as well. Still good though. They have the Vendetta, they have the Icy Veins. Could go for another one-shot attempt on Looney or Zeepai. Either of them very viable.
I mean, this is actually... Wildcard Gaming did have a very powerful start, but even though Asgraff is behind in mana, I think Diabolus can win this at any moment. Looney not having Trinket. Dampening really favors the Rogue Mage, and Elemental with Dampening means Pack Spirit doesn't get to do anything. Pack Spirit doesn't get to do anything. The only cooldown Zeepai really has is Wall. Since he's a hybrid class, he really needs to be able to heal himself to be able to survive. Dragon's Breath will run to Alec defensively. Good plays by Morrow. Zeepai just sitting in the Ghostwolf, just running around the pillar, understanding, hey, if I don't run here, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. Looney's just caught up in a Cyclone after Cyclone. Third one's up. Asgraff got into an in-cap, maybe a Polymorph on the Asgraff. Really good wind shear by Zeepai.
Yeah, but really nice Cyclone also by Asgraff. He's behind on mana, but he's certainly ahead in terms of offensive play right now. Counterspell, looks like it was duped there by... Oh no, Alec actually did get caught up in that one, so it denies any follow-up Polymorph. Nice play by Maro. Kidney shot on Zeepai, and as you said, the healing reduction definitely going to help the Rogue Mage here. And Alec, I mean, at the start of the game we were scared for him, but he had an interesting conversation. Benruki was the one who pointed this out earlier, that Alec is willing to take risks until he has no more ice blocks, and then he will play not to die, and he has done a good job of that in this game. Now, both ice blocks will be rotating up shortly, and Diabolus, even though it's been a bit scary, it looks like as the game goes on, Zeepai is the one falling behind this Elemental Shaman as Dampening really starts to stack up. I mean, barring Asgraff running out of mana, I really don't see how Wildcard wins this one.
I mean, Nixie is starting to fall dangerously low. There's the combustion by Morrow actually getting him to half HP, but all they got from that was Feint, and they ended up polymorphing him. I feel like it was kind of a waste of combustion. I mean, the pressure was almost there, but they just weren't able to get anything. A full polymorph on the Looney. I want to see the Kidney shot here. Nixie not being able to get the Zeepai, just running around the pillar and Ghostwolf. He's actually babysitting Looney and sitting there and spamming sap, possibly into a cheap shot or a Garrote here. Garrote on the Looney. I think they want to swap over to Looney actually. Full Cyclone and Zeepai, full sheep on tomorrow. Looney in second to Kidney, but he pre-fortifying Bruise again. Over and over, just Looney's just using a cooldown right before they get some kind of crowd control off.
Looney, Looney, Looney. If I played like you, I would have 2 BlizzCon titles. What an absolutely insane player. Constantly pre-Life Cocoon, pre-Fortifying Brew. Absolutely incredible. Smoke Bomb, question mark. Not entirely sure what the goal of that one was. Maybe trying to catch Zeepai, but he just walked out of it. Nice plays from him, I suppose. Nixie with a rare mistake there in terms of offense. 24% dampening. Diabolus still pushing to tie up the series here. Zeepai very low. Astral Shift up in about 7 seconds. That big defensive cooldown for the Shaman, but they're in pursuit. Looney still caught up in crowd control, and that Pack Spirit just isn't enough 26% dampening. Looney, once again, Cyclone. There'll be 3 of those. It's a lot of trouble here for Wildcard Gaming. This could easily be a tied-up series.
There's a full kidney shot. Life Cocoon actually coming out right before the polymorph yet again. Zpi actually traded the wall there too at the same time, so they kind of had overlap cooldowns in that situation, but I don't think they're out of the woods yet. Zpi, 20% HP. Gets a pretty big heal. I believe that was Battle Masters. Gets Garroted. Looney second, a cheap shot. Maybe some follow-up CC. There's a half polymorph. Nixie dipping sort of low, but he has Cloak of Shadows in about 8 seconds. They should be okay unless Maro gets something with his combustion. Full Kidney on Zpi forcing the trinket, and I don't think they have any more CC for Looney momentarily.
Yeah, it certainly looks like he's going to recover here, and actually the mana, of course, is heavily in his advantage. He's basically spent none because he's been crowd controlled the whole game. Meanwhile, Asgraf has had to play so aggressively to keep this momentum for his team. If they don't land the kill in the next 10 seconds, or like 10-ish% dampening, I would say, probably Diabolus will end up falling. Zpi, though, 10% health, full polymorph over onto Looney. He's not using his trinket. He does have the life cocoon soon, but it won't come up in time, and Diabolus tied up.
Yeah, I think that, you actually...
All right, it looks like the gates are about to open. Like I said, Nixie, I don't think he should get the initial sap on Maro. I think Maro should actually press it. Oh, Maro actually blinks in and throws out his Crucible, gets into combat instantly so he doesn't get sapped right there. And I think Nixie's just waiting for his team to follow up. There's a cheap shot over to Looney, Gorilla over on Maro, Kidney. Full sheep over on Looney, actually. War Banner already down, killed by Alec. Really good job by Alec. CS on his sheep, falls over the Ring of Frost, gets kicked. Really good disruption so far by Diabolus, and countering the CC go by Wildcard Gaming.
It's little things like that that are a bit sloppy from Diabolus, if I'm completely honest. Like, Maro blinks in, gets the combat. I mean, sure, you can say in the grand scheme of things, maybe it doesn't make the biggest difference, but here, that denied the sap, then the opener wasn't that good, and suddenly, all of that leads to Alec in an ice block. So, little things like that from Maro, it's just, he's really alert. He really wants this. He knows 2 more wins, his team's going to BlizzCon in his own hands. So, very nice stuff coming in from Wildcard Gaming at the very early stage of this one. Forcing an ice block out this early on is honestly fantastic. On the small map, we expect a fast-paced gameplay, and Blizzard's looking for more.
It looks like Asgraf doesn't have Ironbark ready for 5 seconds. I believe Alec is still on hypo. Also, how is Blizzard having this much uptime against a Frost Mage Rustiger? This is very impressive. He's spacing his gap closures like Stormbolt and Charge and Heroic Leap to the point where Alec, he doesn't charge until Alec is max range. Or if he knows that Alec is going to cast a polymorph, he pre-charges to kick it. He's doing a really good job sticking on Alec like white on rice. And honestly, I've never seen a warrior play like this before.
Yeah, I actually got shouted out by production that Nixie had forgotten poisons at the start of this game. He was just casting them. That's why Alec was forced into that first ice block. So that is a pretty big mistake. And I mean, it goes back to me saying that Wildcard are very alert here, min-maxing. Meanwhile, Diabolus, they need to get their head in the game here. I mean, BlizzCon for them is also very much in their hands. They're only 4th in their terms of overall standing, so for them, they have to get top 2. They need top 2 at this event to qualify to BlizzCon. Yeah. Very much they can do it. Here, winning this puts them in top 3 already. That would be fantastic, but at the same time, you've got to have your poisons on. You've got to make sure you're min-maxing, because Wildcard Gaming have already upset one Rogue Mage. They'd love to make it too.
And this is definitely not a team you want to give momentum to by letting them win another game, especially with how energetic and how the adrenaline just runs through this team. They always perform better and better every single game. There's combustion popped by Maro, stuck in a kidney shot, Blizzard popping avatars, so they're popping their offensive cooldowns currently. Sharpen coming up in 18 seconds. Asgraf call up into the poly, trades to Ironbark, bash over on the Looney, maybe a Cyclone by Asgraf. I want to see him get that. Really good War Banner by Blizzard, well played. Temporal Shield traded by Maro, but that's all he's going to have to use, I believe.
Yep, very well played by Maro. Once again, great defensive play, great offensive play. This guy has been stellar. Diabolus, they're still looking good in this game. I think, the early part where they had to use the ice block wasn't ideal, but mana's actually pretty even. Looney's had to expend a fair bit more than in previous times. Now we see a double fear coming in from Blizzo. He's looking for offense. Can Maro follow up? He's going for the polymorph. Gets counterspell. Very nice plays by Alec, blinking over, defending his healer from that crowd control. But now we see a Stormbolt into a Ring of Frost. They actually overlap kicks. They use the kick and the counterspell at the same time, meaning that crowd control lands. Asgraf has to trade Trinket, still not out of the woods yet, does have Ironbark, could use it. Meanwhile, Sheep on Looney, both teams exchanging crowd control, exchanging offense. Maro dropping low, but Life Cocoon once again comes in from Looney. Small gap in the crowd control, and he is able to control it and secure his team.
Maro actually landing a counterspell over an Asgraf into a leg sweep, but I don't think they'll get any pressure to Ironbark being traded. We talk about Looney trading the Cocoon right before crowd control, but Asgraf has also been doing a really good job with his Ironbark. Spark right before CC also. Dragon's Breath on Asgraf, no follow-up crowd control because of Nixie's kidney shot. Really good by Nixie. Possibly still getting Alex Ice Block out of the way with how Blizzo's just sticking on him. Nice kick by Blizzo. Half polymorph on the Blizzo, not able to play the game. Sharpen is now committed. I don't think they're going to have trouble healing through it this early without dampening being in the game.
I could hear a little bit of your inner survival hunter saying that. It's like, Blizzo, he's sheeped again. Not really getting much uptime here. Definitely having a tough one, but at the same time, he is doing a great job. I'd be very curious to actually see the damage meters in this one. Maybe you can see it looks like Blizzo's actually still top in damage despite all of that crowd control. So he really is putting on a strong performance here for Wildcard Gaming. If you're a fan of Warriors, you want to be cheering on Blizzo right now, but Maro is definitely dropping a little bit low, trades out the Battle Master. We can see that rallying cry as well from Blizzo. A lot of increased health as well as that War Banner may well be enough to keep Maro in the fight. We see the Life Cocoon come snuck in, but Asgraf is able to get a low Cyclone on that. Any follow-up crowd control, Nixie's there for the kick, trying to make it difficult. Now Kidney Shot, they're actually going for a little bit of swap, but ultimately just trying to get spread pressure here, putting Wildcard behind.
Where are they going? I mean, Maro and Looney are both
soloing him.
They're splitting right now. Nixie is over on the Looney. Alex is over on the Maro. They're both dipping dangerously low. There's no Life Cocoon to be traded. Hopefully Looney can top himself and go over and top Maro. But they have a full blind over on the Looney. Temporal Shield traded, maybe have the Ice Block for the Cauterize. Hopefully he can hold it. Oh, but he has to trade the Ice Block. Fear over an Asgraf. I really wanted to see that Fear over on Nixie or Alec to stop that from happening. Half Sap over on the Looney, full Sheep over on the Blizzo. Dragon's Breath. This is insane. There's so much CC going out and it hasn't stopped yet.
Yeah, Nixie and Asgraf just completely outplayed there. First, Nixie solo forces the Dwarf Racial, then he goes for the blind, then he forces the Ice Block, and they may well win the game. Cauterize comes in. Life Cocoon, but it's getting shredded by that Cauterize. So much damage for Looney to heal up. He gets full counter spell. This could still be game over. Vendetta is rolling. Looney, does he have any more crowd control? It doesn't look like it. No blind available, of course. Was used after that Dwarf Racial earlier to force the Ice Block, but still a monumentous play, and based off of outplays from Diabolus, the Vortex on the Blink, the solo force on Looney's Racial, really nice stuff, and that nets them the Ice Block.
I mean, they haven't made it out of the woods just yet, and to make things even worse, Alec has both Ice Blocks left. I mean, Asgraf's Iron Bark is coming up in 15 seconds. Nixie still has every cooldown but Cloak of Shadows defensively. I mean, they should be perfectly fine. And this time around, Looney and Asgraf actually even mana, full counterspell over to Alec, triple dare sheep on the Nixie. It looks like Wildcard is trying to slow the game down, but what they need to do is just find a way to reverse pressure and just keep the game rolling.
Yeah, they certainly just need to calm down a little bit here. You can see Looney doing that. He recognized the game was going a little bit too fast for his liking, so he goes as far away as you can on this small little map, but Asgraf is not having any of that. He trinkets offensively. They get the sheep. Free War Banner once again from Blizzo. Does deny a lot of that. Can they kill it off? Doesn't look like it. Asgraf doesn't get the Cyclone. That Cyclone could have been a game changer, but now Alec is the one on the back foot. Ice Block forced. Asgraf made to punish for that offensive trinket. Now, once again, it's tied up. One Ice Block for Alec, no Ice Block for Maro, but Looney still has his trinket, so one defensive cooldown on either side, and suddenly it's anyone's game once again.
Yeah, I mean, Asgraf currently on DR for everything, so Diabolus shouldn't be scared right now. If anything, this should be Diabolus' go. Full kidney over on Maro, also a kick right after. Smoke Bomb committed. I'm not really sure what that Smoke Bomb was. I mean, Maro just instantly just walks out of that, not really in that much trouble. Actually, he's dipping to 40%. This is really scary. Alec very low. I think he's locked in frost. He couldn't Ice Block.
Absolutely incredible. I think he's still on the hypothermia for a few more seconds there. Alec, once again, head in his hands. He cannot believe what's happening, and I'm not sure we can either.
It sounds honestly, he's not on Diabolus, but it sounds quite diabolical and demonic when Blizzo lets out those victory cries. But the question is he going to be letting out a victory cry after this game, or are we going to see this all tied up and go to a game 5?
It's like some of the mobs in Barons, on the way up, like the Harpies, some of the screeches they make. I mean, Blizzo's really getting his best Harpy on here. Really, really scary sounds coming out of him here at the studio in Ohio. Wildcard Gaming are one game away from locking in a BlizzCon spot, meaning that Diabolus, Method Orange, and also M2KC, only one of those three teams would get the final spot. So really is starting to get competitive here. It will all be decided today and tomorrow, folks. You definitely want to make sure you tune in, as once again, a beautiful opener for Wildcard Gaming nets them Trinket, nets them Ice Block, and puts them even closer to that BlizzCon goal.
I mean, did Nixie forget his poisons again or something? Every single game, it seems like Wildcard Gaming, they start, they get the initial pressure, which you would expect from the Rogue Mage, and they get the Ice Block first every single time. Half polymorph over on Nixie, Alec doing his best to control Blizzo. Innervate used pretty early by Askarov, but full poly over on the Looney, but where's the kidney shot? Where's the follow-up with that CC? I mean, generally, whenever you get CC on the healer, you want to commit a garrote, a kidney shot, so that person that you're on can't move their character. There's a kidney shot, but there's no CC. They're so uncoordinated right now, and you could definitely feel the tilt from the last game.
Yeah, and that was another huge mistake. They actually overlapped the garrote from Nixie with the counterspell from Alec, meaning that the sheep connected. So that overlap, once again, putting them further behind. They really need to calm down, concentrate. They can definitely still win this matchup. The Rogue Mage Druid, they've been so good at it all year long. I had them as a top 2 team for this tournament, and I still stand by that. If they can just kind of get their head in the game a little bit here, Diabolus, they definitely have been thrown off cancer just a little bit in the last couple of games. Wildcard gaming all over them. Blizzo, so annoying to deal with for this Mage Druid. Now they're starting to control him. They have the Sheeps, they have the Cyclones, and because of that, they're forcing out life cocoons. They're starting to get aggressive, and Alec actually is playing better, I think, the way he's doing it. He's slowed down the game. He's using the big map to his advantage, and this is what we expected. Try and frustrate the Warrior, make it hard for Blizzo to get uptime on these open spaces.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. Maro's stuck into Kinney currently. I think Askarov should be the one to go for CC, as Nixie had to use his blind defensively on the Blizzo earlier in the game. They're not going to be able to have that blind pressure. Asgarov's pretty much going to be the one to make the plays here. He has to go for a bash over in the Looney. Maro actually pops Combust. Alec in a little bit of trouble, not able to get away from Blizzo because of Blade Storm. There's a Meteor that also crashes. Temporal Shield traded along with the Iron Bark. Little of an overlap in cooldowns, but I mean, it's not looking too bad for Diabolus. Full Kenny on the Maro, Sheep on the Blizzo, but no CC on the Looney. In terms of mana, they're both doing fine.
Yeah, in terms of mana, it looks like both teams are doing a really good job here, Askarov. Definitely, I think he has the harder task in that regard, but he has been doing a good job. Full Sheep now snuck over onto Looney, and it is Maro that's in trouble here. If they can land the Cyclones to follow, Maro doesn't have his counterspell available, so they should be able to. War Banner, unfortunately, out of range there from Blizzo. He did go for the play, didn't quite manage to land it. Alec, though, just taking a crazy amount of damage, and Maro, whilst he is in that kidney shot, Life Cocoon's available. I'm expecting him to probably stabilize here. Wildcard Gaming, that was a good crowd control chain from Diabolus. If they can keep playing like that, they can definitely tie up the series in this game, but Wildcard Gaming so far have always been able to match them. Yeah,
I mean, I think that's due to Maro doing extremely well in terms of landing his counterspells, counter-sheeping, whatever there's to go already. Actually caught up in a full Kinney right now. There's the T used by Looney, trying to top him currently, not able to be counterspelled. Blizzo Blade storming the CC, trying to stay on Alec currently. Iron Bark still available, full DV on Askarov, possibly a Ring of Frost, instantly counterspelled by Alec, beautiful counterspell. And Maro not able to follow up with CC. I think Diabolus is about to be to go as soon as the Stormbolt ends on Alec.
Yeah, they're looking for it. Looney, though, of course, he also has the advantage on the big map of space, so you can see him far away from Alec. That means Askarov is going to be on pushing in, gets the Mighty Bash, gets it into a full Cyclone. Maro doesn't have the counterspell available, but does have the Dragon's Breath. I think Alec maybe had an opportunity there to push in, get the Polymorph. He might still look for it. Actually opts to blink away instead. Low Cyclones from Askarov, but with Alec so far out of the game, there's no way they get follow-up over onto Looney here. He's slowly pushing in for it again, and I mean, I understand from Alec's point, maybe I would have liked to have seen him blink forward there. It looked like his team had momentum, but at the same time, they're playing to their win condition of just, you know, making sure that Blizzo's far away from his healer, so it's hard to get the spells on him, on the Novas, the Sheeps, and they can just kind of set up two separate 3v1s where the Mage and Druid, who are so mobile, can cross between the Mistweaver and the Warrior, set up crowd control. This is a good smoke bomb push. They're looking for the Ice Block from Maro. They get the Life Cocoon. Beautiful Polymorph snagged once again by Alec, though Blizzo denies with an intimidating stun. Is it going to be enough? Askarov trinkets out. DR Sap. Are they going to be able to force the Ice Block? Yes, they are. Good trinket from Askarov, and they finally net that important defensive cooldown.
I mean, that's what I want to see more consistently. I mean, they're doing it about every 50 seconds. Full bash over to Looney, Garrote over to Maro. Maro needs to be really careful playing Relentless. He's not able to get out of the Garrote. If he gets Kinneyed again, Looney might not even be able to save him because he doesn't have Cocoon. Beautiful Cyclone by Askarov. He needs to be really careful. As soon as he gets his Cauterize, he has nothing left. Full Sheep over on the Looney. Nixie still has his blind. If they can just follow up with more Sheeps, full Kinney on the Maro. Maro not able to stop the Reach Sheeps. Clone on the Blizzard. This is what I was talking about. More CC, cross CC across everyone.
Yes,
Maro possibly going down. Cauterize proc, and down he goes.
Absolutely incredible stuff. Great crowd control from Diabolus. They had a rough start to the game, but they did grow into it.
He hit it right on the money when he was talking during the break. He said when you look on the side of Diabolus, they are learning faster than any team.
Yeah, they certainly are. And we've seen this series go time and time again. There was one point where Wildcard Gaming during the Cups were 2-0 up against Diabolus, but Diabolus just gets better and better. They are so close here. Wildcard Gaming, if they win this game, they go to BlizzCon. If Diabolus wins this game, they are one step away from going to BlizzCon. It's such a high-stakes game. Alec on the Mage will also have a playground on this map. It is a risky pick from Wildcard Gaming. I like it, but we'll have to see if Blizzo can really get work done on Alec, because he will have no problem running circles around him on this map.
I mean, I may not be the best mage, but in my experience of fighting Mistweaver monks, extremely easy for the most part. Obviously, Looney's probably not so easy, but once you fight them on the Blade's Edge, it's extremely hard to get the CC over on the Looney. Extremely hard. Maro actually getting dangerously low. Full Cyclone over on the Blizzo. Full Poly on the Nixie to try to stop that pressure from happening. Combustion pop by Maro. And no CC going out currently.
Yeah, no CC going out. We see the combustion actually coming in from Maro. He was trying to get good damage over onto Alec there. We see the low health on him. Actually, honestly, that combustion didn't really achieve too much. I was expecting a little bit more from Diabolus, but of course, Asgraf able to use the Innovate there, using that to basically make all of his heals free. He could heal super inefficiently, burn through that combustion very easily, so Wildcard Gaming weren't able to find too much offense here. They were looking for it. Asgraf, I mean, honestly, Alec, he's just been forced back and back the entire game. 1.5 minutes into the game. It's looking very good for Wildcard. Blade's Edge has been a pocket pick from them. We've seen it a couple of times. Their Warrior Mage has actually been almost undefeated on this map, so it's definitely a tough one for Diabolus, but I feel like for Alec, it's a tough situation, because he kind of wants to stay upstairs so he can get crowd control on Looney, but I'd almost prefer him to be downstairs, kiting Blizzo. Maybe it can work either way, though. He has good pressure here, forcing out the Life Cocoon, still unable to land crowd control over onto Looney, though.
I mean, that was his Icy Veins, but there's no CC during the Veins. I mean, that's a big mistake I feel like a lot of players make, is popping cooldowns, no crowd control over on the healer, and basically you don't really achieve anything with it. Full kidney over on the Maro, actually, as I'm saying that. Cyclone over on the Blizzo, Temporal Shield used by Maro. Hopefully Looney can top him. I mean, he has no cocoon, gets caught up in a full polymorph, actually. Could they get pressure going? I know they have no kidney shot, but I mean, maybe with a resheep or possibly even a Cyclone, half sap actually, really good pressure, possibly forcing the Ice Block, rode over on the Maro, and hopefully there's more CC follow-up.
Yeah, I mean, if they can land it, they'll definitely get the Ice Block. Full kidney shot, they might get it anyways. Transcendence, Looney's trying to cut away. Full bash, though. This is such a close call. The Ice Block at negligible health, rather. Looney gets caught up in the Cyclone. If they can chain this, they can maybe force the Cauterize and go for the kill. Blazing Barrier at the last line of defense. We see a great War Banner from Blizzo once again, halving that sheep from Alec. That could have been a game winner there for Diabolus, a series winner, but wasn't to be. Wildcard Gaming do recover, but at the cost of their major cooldown.
I mean, see how it's a counterspell he has to go through. Actually, Alec just used it. I was hoping to see Cyclones over on the Maro, and then possibly after Blind was off the art, Nixie throws a Blind out, gets a Trinket, maybe stuns a Trinket into a Polymorph. But I mean, either way, really good push, forcing the Ice Block, forcing the Cocoon. The only thing Looney has left really is the Trinket. Maybe possibly Blizzo would be able to disrupt the go, but I don't know if they keep doing as well of a job as they have been. Diabolus landing all the crowd control over to Blizzo. Blizzo might not be able to peel the next go, and it could be GG for Wildcard Gaming.
Yeah, it certainly could be. The intimidating shout coming in. They're looking for counter pressure here over onto Alec, but Alec has actually had a really good start to this game. The last couple of times, really, you know, maybe remember your poisons, maybe they had some rough starts either way, but this one has been fantastic for them, and this is exactly what we were talking about. Rich said it at the start. Diabolus, they improve, they improve, they improve, and that's one of the things that makes them so scary in these tournaments. Wildcard Gaming, they've had their chance, but they're going to need something massive here in Game 5 if they are to win. Alec dropping a little bit low. Mana very even between the two healers, so no real advantages here, but Maro with the upstairs ground certainly will make it a bit easier for him to avoid damage.
I think Alec's actually having a hard time cutting Blizzo currently, because Blizzo just blades from out of his Nova. He got cheap twice already. Blizzo's off the art for everything. If Blizzo could just stick on Alec, he might be able to force the first Ice Block of the game. There's the Storm Bolt. Just like I said right there, the Meteor on top of the Storm Bolt. A little bit late, the Meteor does miss, but I mean, decent pressure. Looney's running more I think Nixie's having a really, really good uptime in this game, causing Maro to just be under so much pressure, not able to follow up with CC. Looney going for a drink very, very early. The Water Elemental being right next to him. Move the Water Elemental back and stop him. It actually dies. right there. He's not able to stop the drink. Looney gets a couple ticks off and evens out in mana.
Yep, so very nicely played there by both. The distract coming in from WMChi, making sure that wasn't too damaging there for Diabolus. So all these players honestly have just been playing at the very top of their game. Asgraf sitting in the back line, making sure Alec's stable. I do agree with you though. I think Alec has had a rough time on this map kiting Blizzard. That's why he's kind of forced into this unideal downstairs position. And I mean, the reason this is unideal is because Maro, one blink takes him to the other side of the bridge where Alec will never be able to get damage on him. So it's definitely not perfect. It's a really smart map pick from Wildcard Gaming. And then obviously they also have the Monk here with the Ring of Peace, the Transcendence. They're able to use this two-tier map to the very best. It's going to come down to Asgraf. Can he push in for the Mighty Bash Cyclones? That could be a fantastic way for them to kickstart these crowd control chains. Instead, it's WMChi going for the Vanish, potentially going for a play. He's off screen right now. Doesn't look like he even got a cheap shot onto Looney. Not entirely sure how, but obviously that Vanish kind of wasted there.
I feel like he was going for the sap, but couldn't find the opening for it. His combustion committed by Maro. Maro's in a little bit of trouble. Defensive blind once again by WMChi over on the Blizzo. Understandable as he doesn't want to trade Ice Block at 6% dampening. Iron Bark traded instead. I'm not sure about the Iron Bark and the blind defensively, but Looney caught up in a full sheep. Maro having to trade the Life Cocoon from Looney over on the Maro. Maro getting kicked. No follow-up CC on the Looney. A Cyclone, but Maro's not that dangerously low. I feel like Asgraf is kind of expending mana where he doesn't really need to. But then, as I said, a Kidney comes out. Alec is actually the one who has to block while Maro is in the Kidney shot.
Yep, Alec forced into the ice block. Asgraf actually trinkets out of the Intimidating Shout as well. So an overlap defensively for Diabolus. 10% dampening. It is a race. Cooldowns favor Wildcard, but mana favors Diabolus. Both teams have very clear win conditions. Ice block up in 10 seconds from Maro, so he will have access to his immunity very shortly here. We can see that cooldown ticking up as the Kidney shot probably won't be enough to get the kill, though Smoke Bomb looking for it. Now they push in. Mighty Bash, no Life Cocoon available. Can they land follow-up? They're looking for Sheeps and Clones. Neither lands. Asgraf unable to find it. Maro holds onto his counter spell, denies all of the crowd control. Such fantastic play there, because that would have 100% been his ice block once again. Now he turns it around with a double Ring of Frost. Alec could be forced into his second ice block.
I don't know if you saw that, but he actually held his ice block by using his Battle Master trick. Alec dipping dangerously low. Beautiful double ring by Maro, but Maro stuck in the Kidney, not able to follow up the CC or pressure. Blizzo using Avatar there. Asgraf getting Storm Bolted. Asgraf stuck in the DB. Hopefully some follow-up CC, even if it's DR, to force the first or the second ice block of the game. Iron Bark traded out instead. Not too bad. Asgraf still having Trinket. And possibly Intimidating Shout coming up soon. And if it is, then he's dipping so dangerous low. There's the second ice block of the game. Kidney on the Maro, though, combustion committed. He keeps getting Kidney on his combustions. He needs to be a little bit careful with that, but he does force the ice block. So Force Shield used relatively high. It should bounce back up the HP. There we go, 60% HP. Blizzo stuck in a bash. And no more CC for Blizzo, so Blizzo's going to have a field day right now.
This is getting really close. Alec has no defensives left, but Looney has no mana left. 17% dampening. Game 5. Winner of this series goes through to the top 3 on Championship Sunday. Full blind used defensively, but they're still looking for the kill. The crackling Jade Lightning. Looney recognizes how close his team is. Desperate Cone of Cold, keeping Blizzo away from Alec. Is it going to be enough? Iron Bark is available. Innovate is available. There's a few defensives for Asgraf, and Maro also struggling. No Life Cocoon available for him. Both sides really could fall any second here. It's such a close game, but you get the feeling it's ending in the next couple of seconds.
I mean, sure, Maro has the ice block, but Diabolus just has a huge mana advantage currently, and Monks really need mana in order to top their teammates if they don't have Cocoon. Maro actually counterspelled on his cast, not able to do anything right now. WMChi stuck in Dragon's Breath, but as soon as he comes out of that, Maro's going to be in a lot of trouble. Maro dipping dangerously low, status is cauterized. There goes one Maledict and a Garrote on top of that. Cheap shot over on the Looney. Kidney on the Maro, that's the ice block. Clone on the Looney. If they follow up with more CC, it's over for Maro. Polymorph over on the Blizzo, and it seems like they can't reverse the pressure.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like they're over. I mean, they just don't have the mana left in the tank. Looney doesn't have enough left. The War Banner came in there from Blizzo, but I mean, it was more desperation than anything. Combustion from Maro. He's just trying to get counter pressure. They're going for any little crowd control they can, but that's a full polymorph on our friend Looney. Life Cocoon preemptively, but at 27% dampening, it's going to be a tough ask, and Maro most likely will fall here, barring some sort of miracle play. That was the miracle play. The blink counter spell. Is it going to be enough? Alec low.
No way!
Maro low. They could reverse this. Intimidating.
Oh my God!
They have done it. They've defeated Diabolus, and they're going to BlizzCon.
Crossgo for sure.
No way. No way. There's a DR bash. Maro, he uses the Dragon's Breath. There's no way, surely.
Oh my goodness.
Luna's completely over.
Too. Clone. Oh, dude.
No, Cyclone full.
No.
Dude.
Full sheep.
Oh, full sheep. Really good sheep Amaro. And the Hurricane.
For the damage. The damage.
They actually gonna kill him.
He
has the damage.
He's
Dude.
tapped ice procs,
Oh my God.
ice procs. He has no mana left. The healing's not going to be enough.
Dude.
Life cocoon. They comes up.
No.
It's still not
shield.
over.
It's so winnable. It's so winnable.
Can they
That's
do
not over.
it?
You gotta resolve. He has blind too.
Amaro
No
chip over
trinket.
to Looney. Stormbolt over to Askaraf.
He's recovered. Surely that's enough.
I don't know. He's got blind still.
I don't see it. Askaraf, I mean, he's getting chopped away at by Blizzo. Nixie, I mean, you could potentially see it, but Amaro has 100% health. And I think Wildcard Gaming, what a game, what a series.
Wow.
These guys are absolute gods. How on earth are they beating Rogue Mage with this? They are erupting on the stage behind us.
I mean, could you imagine if the roles were reversed and just hear them now?
Moro is so disgustingly good.
Mage practice to Cloud9. A lot of the NA teams want teams like Cloud9 to do well. You want to see your region do well. That's just one of the best ways to ensure your qualification into BlizzCon. But right now, this is going to be both teams going all out. The best of EU versus the best of NA.
Yeah, and let's see what they can get done. Waz, he's going to be playing Gnome, and that is something we've seen a lot of these players sort of implement against the Frostmate. I don't think we've ever seen Waz actually play it in a tournament just yet, but it definitely makes sense. We'll see. What is Method Black going to be able to get done? Are they going to go after Chanimal? Are they going to go after Wealthy Man? We've seen the Assassination Rogue be super effective against the Destruction Warlock in the late game. Early on, it can be difficult to actually find pressure, but in the late game, with Waz sitting on Chanimal, unless Wealthy Man and Cubsy can really back him up, he's going to be a sitting duck.
Yeah, I actually think this is the first time we've seen anyone running the Gnome Rogue. Maybe a big part of that is often because Night Elf is such a good ratio, but actually they're going for Wealthy Man in the early stages here. We've seen a lot of teams tunnel Chanimals, but we know that Chanimal actually, with the some of the buffs to Destruction Warlock, they're really difficult to kill in the early game. So I actually really like this. They trust crowd control him. He's an immobile target. They use that Mage Druid CC. They force out an early Ice Block from Wealthy Man, and I mean, no other teams even really tried tunneling the Mage. It's an explosive start here for Method Black.
Yeah, it's a good start. We'll see if it pays off. I mean, normally leaving Chanimal open is a questionable decision, but it looks like Method Black, they have a game plan. They're going aggressive. Vendetta's been pulled out by Waz. Wealthy Man gets topped off, and he's going to be feeling relatively healthy. Popping the Cold Snap, getting out an Ice Barrier. He's completely stable. With Chanimal, he's just been controlled the entire game. Normally, when we see the Rogue Mage Druid, like you kind of said, they go after Chanimal. They kind of allow Wealthy Man to do whatever he wants in the game, but if you can get control on Chanimal and you can train down Wealthy Man, all of a sudden, Cloud9's offensive capabilities really are limited.
Yeah, they actually use the Neverward there offensively to get a fear onto Chaz to Chanimal. Of course, since he's not the target, maybe I'll take him a couple of seconds to kind of get into that state of mind of, hey, I'm actually the guy that carries this game, but given that it's Chanimal, I don't think it's going to take him very long to get into that one, and he's definitely making it worthwhile. Already forcing the trinket out from Chaz, as well as the Bark Skin. Great offensive push from Cloud9, and this is the scary thing about leaving Chanimal or any Destruction Warlock free. That Dark Soul will already force out major cooldowns from Method Black. They have to play it very carefully, and I mean, to be honest, we've seen some Frost Mages get tunneled today. They don't just flop instantly, do they, Van?
No, they have a lot of defensive capabilities. We'll see. Normally, I think one of the problems actually was he's getting swapped to his Kazu Rake stun. Can they take him down? Do they have the damage? Chaos Bolt lands. Waz ultimately survives off the back of that Iron Bark. Nicely done. Scary situation. You can start seeing Cloud9 develop these opportunities. Full fear now on Chaz, and Waz, he's a little bit scared. He's going to be trying to run behind the pillar. He's got the Coco Shadow, he's got the Vanish, so he's going to be feeling relatively safe in the matchup, but keep in mind, he's not a human and he's playing Relentless, so he does not have a stun break. If he gets caught into a Rake stun or a bash, he's not going to be able to get off that Cloak of Shadows, and that's when Cloud9 can capitalize on those moments of burst. So definitely something Method Black needs to be considering in the game.
I am really scared for Method Black here. I feel like leaving Chanimal free is, it's definitely risky, I'll say that. They have managed to get a fair bit of pressure on Wealthy Man, but once again, Chaz caught up, doesn't have his trinket, does have his Spark Skin though, no damage really coming out. Fears will break immediately from the bleeds and the dots, so not too much to be achieved there. We see the Cyclone landed, maybe going for a Hibernate Polymorph combination. combination, but Chaz once again caught up in the fears, unable to land them. Raikou also crowd controlled the 3v1 setup on Waz once again. Rogue Mage typically was the team looking for the crowd control, but against Cloud9, there's no out-controlling these guys. We've got the Chaos Bolts coming in, we've got the damage, and Chanimal, look at his positioning. Start of the game, he was out of position. He was caught in the middle, getting crowd controlled the entire time. Now he's basically playing it like a healer. He's behind the pillar, avoiding polymorphs, getting out fears and Chaos Bolts, and he is just playing this excellently, showing his adaptation so quickly into the match.
Yeah, Cloud9, they have adapted to the strategy, but there's still a good pressure here from Method Black. Kidney shot on Wealthy Man, full blind onto Cubsy, doesn't have a trinket, immediately trinketing out as soon as it cuts off cooldown. Does not want to be caught in a situation where he doesn't have that available. Bash now onto Waz, one Chaos Bolt lands. Wealthy Man getting big damage out right now, gets interrupted on the polymorph. Nice interrupt there by Waz. He's got the Vendetta, he's got the Smoke Bomb. There's big offensive capabilities here from Method Black, as well as the Icy Veins from Raikou. Wealthy Man could be in some trouble. This could easily be a second Ice Block soon. Yeah, I mean, it certainly could be. We see Chaos Bolts coming in. Good sheep from Raikou. And I think Chanimal, he's kind of left himself out again because Cubsy had to cross field. When Chaz pushes in, that's the disadvantage the Destruction Warlock has. He can't, you know, move around the map as easily as anyone else, in fact, on this team. So if he gets caught behind a pillar like that, then Chaz can control him, Raikou can control him. It did look good for a while for Cloud9 there. And honestly, I'm really curious how this one's going to play out as Dampening stacks up, because Wealthy Man has been under a fair bit of pressure, but you get the feeling that one good setup from Cloud9 could end it all. Yeah, that was really nice. Fear onto Chaz. He trinketed out into a Mortal Coil, but there's really no follow-up damage here from Cloud9. Unfortunately, Wealthy Man and Chanimal not able to get the damage that they want, but they got the trinket from Chaz. And if we see a big setup with Icy Veins onto Chaz out of the Bash, a Mortal Coil, I could easily see Cloud9 just deleting him, especially if he plays a little bit too aggressive. So Chaz needs to be careful. Iron Bark might not be enough if they really commit all their offensives. We've seen Cloud9 do it in the past, and I think they could pull it off in game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, they're very, very close. Cloak of Shadows is available for Waz, but he needs to be careful that he uses it. Now we see the counter space looking for a Bash. Very scary. Fortunately for him, he is on the diminishing return, meaning that that Bash was half, and he's going to be able to break out of that one once again, holding onto the Cloak of Shadows. But I'm really scared for Waz. I get the feeling that one of these days, he might get caught in a stun and regret not using that cooldown a little bit earlier. Cloud9, Dampening starting to stack up 10%. Almost for both of these teams. Cubsy, Trinket rotating back up in exchange for the blind, of course. Chaz pushing in, but Cubsy preemptively wild charges away, uses the Ursul's Vortex to run away from that. And I think Cubsy, one of the good things about him when he's playing this comp is he does such a good job of recognizing when the enemy Druid is pushing in. He's always all over that play, quick to react, and again avoids the crowd control.
Yep, Chanimal now getting swapped to. They're doing big damage. He had to Trinket out. Full blind on Cubsy. Is he going to Trinket? What is he going to do? Chanimal getting lower. There it is. Finally a Trinket committed there by Cubsy. Doesn't have the Iron Bark. That was a scary situation, and now Chanimal in a situation where there's no Iron Bark to keep him alive. Still has the unending resolve, and if they force it out at this point in the game, it's going to be big for Method Black, and you can really tell at 10% dampening, they're switching their focus over on the Destruction Warlock, and I think it's a good play.
Yeah, I think this was the strategy all along. Maybe they felt like attacking Wealthy Man. I mean, we've heard backstage some really big compliments of Wealthy Man, people saying he's the best mage here, maybe he's the best mage in North America. I mean, there's going to be debate about this topic for a very long time, but certainly he is a force to be reckoned with. They shut him down in the early game. Now that we're seeing Dampening stack up, Chanimal is the target of choice, and they do have the pressure. Cubsy's behind on mana. He hasn't been able to drink in this one. Chanimal is constantly finding himself, you know, he's not top. He's always around 80-70%, which means one crowd control on Cubsy could well be the game ender here for Method Black. They have had a good game. It's certainly been an entertaining one. Still get the feeling that Waz could be in trouble. He isn't at 100% health either, but they do have the advantage going into Dampening.
Yeah, but Waz is getting low, and there's the Cloak of Shadows. Without the Cloak of Shadows, he's just so vulnerable. Stuck in midfield, if Wealthy Man and Chanimal can keep just spamming out spells on him, it's going to be really difficult for Chaz to actually catch up. There's a Rake Stun, full bash on Chaz. Cubsy getting aggressive, but Chaz trinkets out. He gets the bash onto Cubsy. Now Chanimal could be in a little bit of trouble. Full polymorph lands onto Chaz. Beautifully done by Wealthy Man. Waz, he's running, he's hiding, he's behind the pillar. Vendetta, his Vanish is rotating up, and that's going to be the defensive cooldown he needs in order to survive. As long as he has a Vanish or a Cloak of Shadows, he can keep himself alive, but Chaz now getting swapped to. Cloud9's all over the place.
Yeah, and this is a big moment in the game. Cubsy's actually been sitting down for a drink for a while. He was under so much mana pressure, and yes, he's able to get up to about 40%. That is a big swing in momentum here for Cloud9. All off the back of that beautiful crowd control on Chaz. Wealthy Man was the one able to land that full polymorph. Now a counterspell. Now the Infernals. Huge damage potential from Chanimal. They shut him down immediately. There's the Sheep. Kidney Shot to combine it. Cloud9 on the defense once again. On any resolve, could have been traded out there, but there was no Vendetta. Chanimal recognizes that and decides not to do it. The Ursul's Vortex actually also knocking him away from the orb a little bit there. Maybe not min-maxing on the side of Method Black, but they do recover mostly from that Infernal. Reflected Sheep, meaning that Reiku is also going to be able to get away here. Maldek's coming in on Waz. He needs to be careful. We do see the Iron Bark, but after that, there's really nothing left for this Rogue.
Yeah, and Waz is going to be in a lot of trouble after that, but he's got the Vendetta, and this is Iron Bark. If he waits for the Iron Bark, pops the Vendetta, that's when they can get some damage rolling. However, Chanimal, he has the Unending Resolve. Waz caught in midfield, big damage incoming. Nice feint on that Comet Storm. Really nicely done. Cubsy now sitting down potentially for a drink. If he can recover all his mana, this is going to be a great situation for Cloud9 to really be in. I don't think Chaz is going to really have a moment to breathe in this game. Sit down, get out of combat. Waz just under so much pressure. He needs to hold on a little bit longer for the Cloak of Shadows. He pulls the trigger on Vendetta. Chanimal not using the Unending Resolve. I don't know about this trade, but he's staying relatively healthy. Kleptomania Spellsteal incoming from Wealthy Man. Both Waz and Chanimal in a lot of trouble.
This is 6 of the best World of Warcraft players in the world. Absolutely incredible stuff. Chanimal, I think a lot of Warlocks would have traded the Unending Resolve there, but not him. He recognized that he could survive that Vendetta without it, and I mean, I guess a good read because he did do a great job. Cubsy, though, he's so far behind on mana despite that drink. He wasn't able to drink to 100%. Chaz has done a good job of risking it all to deny those, and now Chanimal certainly is the player falling more behind. Waz has the Cloak of Shadows. Chaz has the Trinket, and of course the self-healing is just going down and down. 31% healing reduction for both of these sides. Ironbark trades out from Cubsy. He has the Thorns to follow up next. They have Unending Resolve, but those cooldowns tend to matter less and less the deeper we go into dampening. Another beautiful bash from Cubsy, looking for counter pressure on Waz. They're setting up a crowd control chain here, looking to lock him down in the Ursul's Vortex, but he does a good job baiting that out, getting back onto channels. He still has good uptime, and you can see the Warlock, he's never really getting topped off at this stage in the game.
Yeah, but Waz commits his Vanish offensively. Garrote Silence on a Chanimal into a full Kidney Shot. He's already used his Trinket. He has the Unending Resolve, but Waz is going to be vulnerable. He still has Cloak of Shadows, which is a good position to be in. But once that's gone, I don't know what he's going to do at 35% dampening. He's ripping into Chanimal. Big damage incoming from Raikou as well. Cloud9, they need to hold on just a little bit longer, but there's no Iron Bark. And Chanimal still hasn't used the Unending Resolve. This is absolutely incredible. He's waiting. He wants to hold on for that Vendetta. If he uses it now, Icy Veins and Vendetta rotate back up. It's going to be lights out for Chanimal. But Waz, he's running out of time. He uses the Cloak of Shadows, and now Chaz completely out of mana. Waz with no defensive cooldowns. Cloud9, if they can hold on just a little bit longer, they might be able to take him down.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly might. This is going to be a cutthroat finish here. Smoke Bomb comes in. Unending Resolve, where is it? He uses the Iron Bark instead. Chanimal holding on. Waz still low. Double Mortal Coil. Chaz also out of mana. I can't believe it. Both these sides really could die at any second. This game has not got much longer in it. We see the kick, the Kidney Shot overlap. Waz has nothing left. They're looking, but they have to play defensive. Shadow, that's Shadow. The BM falls, and he dies. I cannot believe it. Method Black win game 1.
Didn't get first place here. They'd be disappointed in themselves. Let's see if Method Black's going to be able to take down Cloud9 in this series.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very interested to see how this next one's going to go. I think for Cloud9, maybe if they lose this, they do opt to try the mirror, see how it goes. But as I said, yesterday, the teams did play 3 war games, and it did look like Method Black had the edge in that one, which I don't think that's even necessarily the skill of the players. It's just the fact that in Europe, there's a lot of Rogue Mage Druids right now. There's a lot of perfect practice partners for Method Black, whereas Cloud9, of course, don't have that on their side. So they are going to lock in the Mage Warlock once again. And I think it's smart. They were so good in the last game, so close to winning. I'm looking to see what race Waz is playing. Maybe he swapped off the Gnome. I don't think either of us particularly liked it. Maybe the Night Elf or the Human, either of them might be a bit better. It looks like he's a little bit taller in this one. I'm trying to make out which one he's playing.
How dare you say I don't like the Gnome? Are you kidding me? That's my favorite. Waz getting caught into a rake stun. Chaz trinketing out the Fury. It's okay. I understand, but I don't think he's playing Gnome anymore. I'm a little disappointed, to be honest, but I can understand. Here's the thing, okay? For Waz, it's really important he can break out of those stuns. There was a few close calls, and I feel like it's nice to get out of a Frost Nova, but it's better to get out of a Bash. so you can get your Cloak of Shadows and not die. So I think Waz, being the player he is, realizing it. Chanimal actually under a lot of pressure. Full Ring of Frost onto Cubsy. Chanimal already trading out his Unending Resolve. Does not want to make the same mistake again. Gladiator Safeguard proc. Sap over onto Cubsy. The crowd control is just not ending. There's a full Cyclone on Cubsy. He trinkets into a DR blind with a kidney shot over on a channel. Finally, the crowd control ends. Cubsy able to activate the Iron Bark, but a nice Cyclone from Chaz. Method Black in complete control of this game.
Yeah, it was a bit of an impulsive DR blind from Waz. Let's see if it pays off, because honestly, I almost wonder. I don't blame him for going for the play because they were so close to the kill, but equally, they could have maybe saved that to exploit the fact that Cubsy trinketed prior. They did get the Unending Resolve from it though, so that's a huge cooldown. Very explosive opener here from Method Black, and whereas in the last game they were shutting down Wealthy Man a lot, this game they've swapped up some things, they've gone to that human, they're tunneling down Chanimal, and even in the early stages of this game, they have an unrelenting amount of pressure, so much so that the next bash could easily be the game.
Yep, we'll see. I mean, Raikou right now has been able to put out a lot of pressure. Equally so, though, Wealthy Man has been able to. Both these mages basically doing whatever they want in this matchup, trying to polymorph each other, trying to slow down the damage. This is one of the first times ever we've seen another mage out-damage Raikou. Wealthy Man doing a great job so far. It's really, really neck and neck between these two mages. Fear over onto Chaz. What are they going to be able to set up? Double Mortal Coil set up here from Chanimal, but he gets shut down by a nice kick from Waz. Full Cyclone now on Cubsy, and once again, Chanimal in a position where he's a little bit vulnerable here in the midfield.
Yeah, he certainly is. We see the Dwarf Racial preemptively on the kidney shot, removing all the bleeds, so nice play from Chanimal there, just mitigating incoming damage. Cubsy also uses the Iron Bark as no polymorph. Hibernate combo was able to land as follow-up, but look at the mana on Cubsy. He has burnt through a fair share, 70% already down, 30% left on that resource. He's going to be looking for a drink right now, and Chaz has been the player to stop him so far. I think this is one thing that Method Black have done a really good job of, and I mean, they put a lot of pressure on Chaz. I was listening to them practice a lot. They really expect him to not only heal them, also make sure he gets the perfect Cyclones, denies every single drink. A lot of pressure on him, and he actually trinkets aggressively here to try chase Cubsy, but I'm not entirely sure he knows where Cubsy went with that Shadow Meld. He's going to have a tough time catching him, right? Was actually, he went for the Vanish play. He wanted a Vanish Sap there, couldn't quite land it though. Cubsy with a good read, able to survive that play.
That was really, really heads up by Cubsy, denying the Sap and actually basically wasting the Vanish of Waz. So nicely done. Now Fear over onto Waz. He doesn't have that Vanish as a defensive cooldown, and now Cloud9 can try to keep the counter pressure rolling. They haven't really went after Raikou at all in this match. It's mostly been Waz, but I just feel like he's so durable. Finally a swap now onto Raikou. Big burst damage. He gets interrupted on Frost. Do they have the damage to force the Ice Block? Temporal Shield looking like it's going to be enough to keep him alive, and that's the problem. When you have a rogue like Waz just tunneling you down, Asset Destruction Warlock, you're just so susceptible to kick, to kidney shot, and it really limits your offensive capability.
Yeah, I'm trying to see the damage meter. It looks like Waz is doing like 30% more damage than anyone else on the map, and that really is the power of this Assassination Rogue.
Whoa.
He brings the Mortal Strike, he brings the damage, and he also brings the Smoke Bomb, which here could be enough to kill Chanimal. Preemptive Iron Bark, though, nicely played, as well as that Unending Resolve. A lot of respect on the side of Cloud9. They definitely are feeling the heat here on Ashamane's full. Game 2 not looking good for them, as once again major cooldowns forced out before dampening even begins.
Yeah, I mean, Cloud9, they've been really defensive in this match so far. I feel like they need to find an opening. Going after Waz, it's the consistent strategy, but I don't know if they're actually going to find a win. It was close in the last game, but I think if Waz wants to live, he'll be able to. Anytime he doesn't have Cloak or he doesn't have Vanish, he can run, he can hide. I think for Cloud9, they need to try to find some openings on Chaz. We've seen them do really big one-shot setups in the past with a Bash into a Mortal Coil, into an Infernal Stun, and just delete Druids out of the arena. They can do that on the Chaz. They can get a quick surprise victory. It's something I definitely want to see them look out for in this match.
Yeah, swapping around a little bit more seems to have been the play here. We see Waz dropping low, might have access to that human racial though to break out the stuns if he needs it. Cloak of Shadows, of course. Immunity essentially to the damage on Cloud9, something that he can access at any point. Chaz sitting in the back line. I think he might actually be looking for a drink behind the pillar. Rain of Fire, there's no way that one hit him. I think he's probably getting a lot of mana here, and yes, he has managed to top of his mana bar as dampening begins. That is a huge play there by Method Black, and something they really needed. Cubsy now is really on the back foot. Chaz gets caught up in a polymorph though, well snugged by Wealthy Man, trying to make him punish, or make him feel the punish for that drink, but doesn't look like it's really going to happen. Cubsy sitting back looking for a drink of his own. Raikou though all over the place, gets the Frozen Orb and denies.
Yeah, and Chaz is full mana. This is not looking good for Cloud9 in this situation. Cubsy's going to have to try to sneak away for a drink at some point, but Raikou and Waz, they're all over him. Full fear now onto Chaz, interrupt onto Raikou. Do they have any burst damage to really punish him? He's at the pillar. Wealthy Man snipes him with the Ray of Frost. And it looks like Raikou's going to be completely fine. He's got both of his ice blocks. He's got a big ice barrier protecting his hit points. And it looks like the story of this game could ultimately come down to mana. At some point, Cubsy's going to have to try to figure something out, but it's going to be up to Chanimal and Wealthy Man to really set that up.
It's certainly tough for Method Black, and I mean, they've done such a good job dealing damage that if they spend the entire rest of the game chasing Cubsy, actually sometimes it can have an adverse effect on you. It means you focus less on your damage and you end up losing pressure, and the other team kind of finds their way back into the game. Though that said, this is a brilliant cheap shot combo into the Cyclone, completely shutting down the free heals of the Innovate. Beautiful play once again by Method Black. They have a huge lead in this game right now, and any resolve not available. Trinket is available for Cubsy as he re-stealths. Gets a little stun there over onto Raikou. Able to land the Iron Bark also, but a great Cyclone coming in. Still, it's on the Vendetta, so maybe not the most value, but either way, they just have so much control over the game right now, Method Black. It feels like they'd have to really throw this one to lose it.
Yeah, things are looking good for Method Black. They've got the pressure, they've got the control. Bash onto Cubsy. He throws out a Thorns onto Chanimal. Full blind, he trinkets out. So now there's a situation where Cubsy's got no trinket, he's got no mana. Chanimal, of course, with the unending resolve, he has to be very careful, and I don't want to see him play too scared with it. Obviously, he fell in the last game without really being able to utilize it, but I do like him using it in sort of a greedy way. Just in this situation, it's really difficult because Cubsy really doesn't have the mana to recover his hit points. Innervate's on a 2-minute timer at this point, and Cloud9 seems like they're running out of time.
Yeah, I mean, potentially. They do still have, of course, the Wealthy Man on their team, and something about the last game, like the amount of damage he was able to put onto Waz, made me think maybe, just maybe, they could make something happen, but in this game, they've been kind of splitting their focus more. They've been crowd controlling Waz, attacking Raikou a little bit, and it just feels like they're focusing so much on survival. Maybe they think if they can get to the deepest point in dampening, they might be able to kind of pull something from the depths of this game. Maybe that's their win condition. Chanimal once again drops low. Cubsy caught up in a full Ring of Frost. I'm surprised Chanimal isn't using his unending resolve here, but there are good sheeps coming out onto Waz, deny some of the damage, maybe has a Mortal Coil to follow it up. Iron Bark now connects, uses the Nether Ward to reflect. We can see all of those buffs being kleptomaniaed though, thanks to our extra frame on the UI. Very nice, happy to see it. We have the Maldix also coming in on onto Waz, trying to get some counter pressure here as Cubsy once again sneaks away for a drink.
Yeah, Chanimal gets interrupted, doesn't have access to the unending resolve. Cubsy, no Iron Bark, no mana, he's looking to get a drink. This is the perfect situation for Chanimal to really drop out that unending resolve. Waz tries to shut it down with a distract, and he does so. Waz has been on fire, keeping track of Cubsy in the match, not allowing him to get out of combat to recover his mana. Chaz's mana isn't doing great either, but in a much better situation than Cubsy. We're at 25% dampening, and I don't know how much longer Cloud9 can hold on. Wealthy Man's going to have to try to find some openings. Maybe they need a target swap, because look at Waz. He's got the cloak, he's got the Vanish rotating back up, and I don't really see him going down in this situation.
Yeah, and I mean, actually, at the same time, it looks like they're once again trying to
Whoa, whoa,
big swap over onto Chaz. Trinket, Barkskin, huge play there, and it wasn't even cooldowns from Cloud9. So definitely need to be respectful of that one. Chaz was, fortunately, but another attempt like that, and it will be nights out for him. He needs to be very, very careful. Chanimal still low, still has that unending resolve. Vendetta available for Waz. I'd love to see him just pop it. There's no Iron Bark available. Could be a fantastic momentum swing here for Method Black. 30% dampening, 30% healing reduction, and Cubsy, I can't believe he still kept Chanimal alive. He's such a great druid. It's actually astounding that he's still alive in this one. That was the last innovate of the game, though. They also overlap the unending resolve for this Vendetta, and now Icy Veins gets popped. Very scary time for Chanimal.
Definitely. He used the unending resolve on the Vendetta, but Icy Veins available. Massive damage. Chanimal, he trinketed out of a Cyclone into a kidney shot, and he hasn't been able to recover since. But Chaz, he's running out of mana as well. Raikou actually gets interrupted. Good control onto Wealthy Man. What are they going to be able to get done? There's a blind onto Cubsy. He trinkets out. And still Chanimal on the back foot, but he's just been in midfield at 25% 33% dampening. How is he still alive? There's the kidney shot. Raikou getting out a big flurry combo, keeping him nice and low. Cubsy caught into the bash. He's got no mana. There's a full polymorph, and there's no way that he survives. Double Mortal Coil coming in. I don't know if he has the Hellstone available. Does he have the damage? Can they make a swap on a Chaz? He's got no bark skin, he's got no trinket. If Cloud9 can just hold on a little bit longer, they might be able to close out the game. I don't think Waz is the best target. He still has the Cloak of Shadows, and Chanimal as a Destruction Warlock in this matchup at almost 40% dampening. It is almost an inevitability that he falls. This kidney shot is easily going to close out the game. If Cubsy can keep him alive, it's going to be an absolute miracle.
You'd certainly think that this would close out the game. A full counterspell, you'd think that will close it out, and it will. Method Black had an absolutely insane game 2 here. Really clean gameplay from them. And
casted damage, and if we see Raikou and Waz sort of just sit on Chanimal the entire game, Wealthy Man's going to be a much bigger threat with that greater Pyroblast, and I have to say, I don't mind this decision. I think bringing it to Tolvaron with the Fire Mage is going to throw a little bit of a curveball to Method Black.
Yeah, I think this is actually quite smart. I mean, we talked about the Rogue Mage, we talked about like them just not wanting to lock in the same comp and lose 3 times in a row. I think Fire Mage is actually quite smart. For the same reasons that I said, I liked it when Wildcard tried it on Tolvaron Arena. It is a menace. If they tunnel down Chanimal, then of course they have to really respect Wealthy Man. Have a little look over at his build right now, see if he is running that Greater Pyroblast. Which
certainly
of course,
is. It's the first thing I look for.
There's the Greater Pyroblast. So of course, if they do tunnel down Chanimal, the Greater Pyroblast will be a huge impact. Meanwhile, it looks like they're actually going to go after Wealthy Man because of that. And I think it's smart. Go after the Fire Mage. He's going to have less snares to shut down Waz. And of course, Greater Pyroblast is going to be much less of a factor when tunneled by an Assassination Rogue.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Wealthy Man on the Fire Mage, even if they tunnel him down, he's going to be able to get out a lot of instant cast damage when he needs it. And if you go after the Fire Mage, guess what? Chanimal is able to free cast in the game, and that's why I like this pick so much, because there's no good target for Method Black to go after. They go after Chanimal, they get hit with the Greater Pyroblast. They go after Wealthy Man, they get hit by the Chaos Bolts, and it's kind of danged if you do, danged if you don't. And I think for Method Black, they're going to have to play a really solid game defensively, because there's going to be a lot of pressure in favor of Cloud9.
Yeah, certainly. So this is going to be a good test for Method Black. I think whenever you're playing ladder, especially if you're hovering around the 2000s to 2200s, you're going to see a lot of the Fire Mage Destruction Warlock. And for most people, it's going to be like, oh, I really don't like playing against this comp, because you have to be so alert the entire time, right? You're watching those Chaos Bolts, you're watching those Greater Pyroblasts, and if any of them connect, suddenly you have, 60, 50% health, and then one more and you're gone. So it's definitely going to require maximum attention here from Method Black. How are they going to play this one out? Waz, of course, in the early stages of the game is going to be the target. Good Ironbark from Chaz between the fears. Nice plays from him, making sure that the Cloak of Shadows, I actually thought they were going to save it off of that, but Waz actually respects it a lot, uses the Cloak of Shadows despite Cyclones on Chanimal and tunneling Wealthy Man. Maybe a little bit overly defensive there from the young rogue.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. It's a difficult spot for Raikou and Waz, because if the interrupts have to be really on point, and it has to be well-timed interrupts. It's not a simple script. Kidney shot over onto Cubsy. They're making a swap. They realize they want to close out the game early, and they might be able to do so. Cubsy's in a lot of trouble. He's got no trinket. He trades out the Bark Skin, Overgrowth, Hellstone, everything committed by Cubsy to survive except the Ironbark. He managed to hold on to that, and that's a little bit of a victory there for Cloud9. That was a nice attempt by Method Black. I really like what they did there. As I was saying about interrupts, it's a difficult game. It's a difficult thing to balance, because when you're sitting on Wealthy Man, if you interrupt Greater Pyroblast, you're just going to get Polymorph spam. If you're on Chanimal and you interrupt Fear, you're just going to get Chaos Bolt spam. So you really have to be good about interrupting Fears and Polymorphs at the right time, interrupting Greater Pyroblast and Chaos Bolts at the right time. You can't just be interrupting one spell like a bot throughout the entire game, because thing is, Wealthy Man and Chanimal will be able to really capitalize on the fact that there's no interrupts available.
Yeah, and I think that's a crucial thing. That's why it's so difficult to play these matchups. It's also so difficult to write a guide or something like how to be Waz and Raikou in this situation, because you've really got to recognize, like, hey, we're shutting down crowd control right now because we want to go for our own kill. Meanwhile, that's obviously going to open up schools of damage. So Cloud9, being some of the best wizards in Waverly Place, they're going to have a fantastic time in this one. Method Black, it's going to be...
What a boomer reference.
I think actually Venruki likes that reference.
I say it all the time.
Oh yeah,
that's a boomer reference.
So that's probably where it comes from in my head. But we see a counterspell here over onto Wealthy Man, as once again he's the one getting locked down. And I mean, the Fire Mage, this is the weakness, right? Like, without the snares, kidney shot's going to happen every 20 seconds, and that's going to be something hard to contend with.
Yeah, I mean, kidney shot's pretty good, and when Waz and Raikou are pumping damage into that kidney shot, it's going to be really scary. Bash now over onto Cubsy, and the damage coming in from Cloud9 hasn't been too great so far. I feel like Waz and Raikou, they're picking their moments for interrupts, for their kidney shots, for their damage. This could easily be the cauterized big flurry combo. Wealthy Man, he trades out the Healthstone. Dangerous situation to be in. We're not even in dampening yet, and already Method Black, they're pulling out major defensive cooldowns. Wealthy Man is a fire mage. He has one ice block remaining, but no longer has that really important cheat death.
Yeah, some of the North American mages I've actually been super impressed by today. You know, Wealthy Man, we said that he'd been mostly one-tricking the Frost Mage, but he's had a couple of fire performances lately. Jamili, of course, has been playing fire and arcane, so they have been multi-specking Maro also, actually. So all these mages have really prepared stuff for the summer finals, certainly the ones that are doing well here in our upper bracket. Cubsy used his trinket there as well, so there is an ice block still available, but of course that cheat death effect for the fire mage was forced. They have no trinket, they're behind on mana. Certainly a few ways that you could say Method Black is winning this one right now as Chaz once again leaps in, chasing Cubsy, looking for crowd control of his own.
Yeah, Wealthy Man trying to get damage rolling. Waz interrupts him into a full kitty shot. Now into a Cyclone. Chaz, beautifully done. That's going to deny that additional healing from Ironbark, but it looks like that it was enough to keep Wealthy Man alive. Animal going to have to start making some plays here, but as dampening goes up, the Destruction Warlock becomes really scary. Although Wealthy Man's being shut down, he still has some decent burst available to him. All he needs is a couple Fire Blasts, partnered with a Pyroblast and a Meteor, and he can get out some significant instant cast damage. However, he hasn't been able to really pick a moment so far in the game. Temporal Shield not doing too much. He's trying to kite away. Dragon's Breath over on the Waz. Raikou looking to line up some more damage, but it is Chanimal with counter aggression onto Raikou. Could force him out of the midfield. Greater Pyroblast lands. If they get another Greater Pyroblast with a Chaos Bolt landed onto Raikou, he's going to have to play a little bit more careful.
Yeah, he certainly is, and I mean, this is the thing for Raikou. The big map is certainly where you want to take this on Cloud9, because if he blinks forward to get crowd control over onto Cubsy, then he exposes himself, but Wealthy Man also caught up in midfield. Waz has had 100% uptime, I think it's fair to say, in this game. He's had such a fun game on that Assassination Rogue, tunneling down. Now we see a beautiful low Cyclone once again. That was the Mortal Coils from Chanimal, but it's not going to deny too much. It's about Cubsy here. How far away can he get? Uses the Rake Stun to deny Raikou. Again, crossing the map, using that big territory to get away from Chaz and able to stabilize Wealthy Man with good fears on Waz. This has been great gameplay from Cloud9, but the pressure really hasn't been there too much.
Oh, big burst!
This is the Greater Pyro. Huge heals coming in. Is it going to be enough damage to force the Cloak of Shadows? Doesn't look like it. Cubsy once again, he almost went away for a drink there. I wonder if maybe he should have. It looked like he maybe was indecisive, thinking I can help out with the kill. Raikou is now on top of him once again. He's having mana issues as we approach the early stages of dampening. If he can find a drink, they could definitely win this one, but without it, I think Method Black has the game.
Yeah, and it just seems like Waz and Raikou, they're so prepared to shut down those drinks. All three members of Method Black know their win condition, and part of that win condition is don't allow Cubsy to reset his mana ever. And Cubsy will eventually run out of mana. The Kleptomania Spellsteal from Raikou just paying dividends right now. Wealthy Man looking for some counter pressure onto Waz. Manages to land one Greater Pyroblast. Is that going to be a second? Waz manages to stay alive. Good heals coming in from Chaz. Full Cyclone onto Cubsy. And Cubsy, he's got no mana. And just because of the fact that Cubsy has no mana, Wealthy Man's getting no heals, and he has to trade out his Ice Block in a situation where you don't really want to have to trade out your Ice Block. There wasn't really a setup there from Method Black, but they are just developing so much pressure, so much momentum off the fact that Cubsy's just completely out of mana that it's looking like a 3-0 for Method Black.
Yeah, I mean, this was a bit of an experiment from Cloud9. You can't blame them. They were already behind, but it doesn't look like the Fire Mage is better, unless they can land a couple of Greater Pyroblasts. I mean, it's still never over with a team like Cloud9, especially with this composition. Another beautiful Cyclone landed by Chaz. He's been doing such a good job. Bear in mind, there's two really powerful interrupts on the side of Cloud9, so if they can catch him in a counter spell, maybe try blow him up, it's definitely something Chaz has to respect, but he's done an excellent job so far. We see double coils coming in. Wealthy Man's health rate just hasn't been good for a while. Cubsy actually did sneak away for a drink, so he's at 50% mana out of the blue. I didn't see that one coming, but certainly that is a huge play. Is it going to be enough, though? Human Racial on the kidney shot. He's trying to kite away, but there's an Ursul's Vortex, there's a Cyclone. Is there a Polymorph Hibernate combo? They don't land it. Good counter spell from Wealthy Man, but it might not be enough. He's so low on health. We're at 25% dampening, and that's a 3-0 for Method Black.
Very impressive win from Method Black. You can hear that.